A wintry scene on a November night as we swing you inside Schumann Stadium here at the campus of Ball State University. Hope you're ready for some action as the Miami Redhawks and the Ball State Cardinals get set for the season finale. Now let's take a look at the standings in the Mid-American Conference going into the final week. West Side, Toledo and Northern Illinois right there together at 6-1 in MAC play. Central Michigan, Western Michigan are going to be bowl bound. Ball State looking for their first MAC win. East Side, of course, and we'll tell you later on during the course of the show, but an Akron win tonight over Kent State will wrap up the MAC East Division crown. Great to see you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Delighted you're here. Michael Regai, my partner, Gerard Cherry. Rivalry, right? A rivalry trophy game now, Gerard. The institution of the Redbird rivalry between Miami and Ball State, long associated with action against one another on the football gridiron.
Yeah, when you're 77 miles apart, obviously you frequent the same circles as a football team, so they're familiar with each other on and off the football field. So you're very excited about this Red rivalry, and we get the call on the initial one. So I'm very excited to see what these two football teams are going to do tonight because, again, they're only 77 miles apart, so that lets you know that they're going to be well prepared and excited to talk that trash at the end of the game and during the offseason.
Let's start with the Miami Redhawks. Been a tough year for Chuck Martin and his football team. So close in so many. There's your quarterback, Gus Ragland. He's missed 3 football games this year. Those his numbers last year against Ball State in the Miami win. And Gerard, Gus Ragland, though, has got the heartbeat of a winner, and he's shown that in his stint as Miami's QB.
He certainly has, and last year he played a huge part in the win over Ball State. And what do you look for Ragland coming to this final game is to have something to carry over to next season in that you want to finish on a positive note. So when you go into the offseason, you can say that I didn't finish throughout the course of your strong. I did end up with a win, and also going into next season prepared to lead this football team once again.
Yeah, the operative word, leader, as Chuck Martin, the head coach, points out. If you haven't heard of the name Anthony Winbush for Ball State, you're going to see one of the most explosive edge rushers all over the FBS. And Gerard, Anthony Winbush sitting a sack career-wise, a sack and a half season-wise away from rewriting the Ball State books.
A very impressive player in Anthony Winbush, and what the numbers do not tell you is the fact that he's playing on a football team in which there's success running the football. So when he makes a play in the backfield, that just speaks so much about his ability as a sack master to get to the quarterback. And when you look at those numbers, 25 career sacks, tying a program record, that lets you know right there that he is putting in major work. And if he keeps on putting in more work, he'll eventually have the single season record in that he just needs 1.5 sacks to tie it and 2 to break it.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that throughout the course of the evening. Thanksgiving week football. It's a season finale for the Miami Redhawks of the Ball State Cardinals. Don't go away. Gerard now get this one teed up and ready to go when we get back to Schumann Stadium. The final week, final football games of this 2017 season. Schumann Stadium. You like the winterish glow here. A light snow began coming down about 45 minutes ago. Let's get this one going as Ryan Rimler has got it on the tee. Game on in Muncie, Indiana. And this is Jared Murphy for Miami from the 5. Murphy, one of the top return men in the Mid-American Conference. Solid return. And let us take a look on there after that 19-yard Jared Murphy kickoff return. Let us introduce you to Ball State's head football coach Mike New. And Mike New has got to find a way to stop Gus Ragland tonight. Gerard Cherry. Ragland, we just featured him in the open. And this young man for Chuck Martin has certainly, as we said, last year led a tremendous revitalization. As you look at Mike New, again, the former All-MAC quarterback here at Ball State. So Ragland's got his offense on the football field. Kenny Young is with him at that tailback spot, and that quick shot from Ragland will find Jalen Bester, who made the grab. And let's take a look at how Gus Ragland has fared this year, Gerard.
Yeah, you look at the numbers. They don't blow you off the charts, but what they do suggest is that he has ability, and he has been somewhat careful with the football. But what you want to see tonight from Ragland is what you just saw in that previous play, and that get on track, stay on track, build that confidence, and lead this football team, because obviously looking towards next season, you'll be the main guy looking forward to leading the Miami Redhawks in their campaign for 2018.
And a redshirt sophomore Leonard Ross is that running back. Ragland off play action. He delivered that strike to that terrific wide out, running that dig. That's James Gardner making the grab. First down, Miami. All right, Gerard, let's take a look at the impact players after that 14-yard hookup from Ragland to our man right on time, James Gardner.
Has 10 touchdowns on the season, and he is the go-to man for Ragland. The reason why is for plays just like that, he can get the job done. And on the opposite side, Christian Albright will try to apply the pressure to force Ragland to throw the football more sooner than he would like to.
There's been so many near misses for Miami this year. This offense averaging about 24 points a game and almost 400 yards per. Now Ragland's going to take a shot outside the numbers, and you see that football drift out of bounds and incomplete. Ragland, after a couple of quick hits on that miss, he was looking for Sam Martin over on that Miami sideline.
Yeah, very aggressive pass attack thus far by the Miami, and the reason why is simply this: they have a lot of injuries in the backfield, so you're going to employ the arm of Ragland today to get the job done. But for the Ball State Cardinals, you have to apply more pressure from a pass rush standpoint, and also these DBs may want to start coming up and utilizing some bump and run technique.
Good on Anthony Winbush. This is that fly sweep, and that's Jalen Bester. Bester has come clean outside the numbers. Bester inside the 5 and finally got rocked out of bounds. Jet sweep working beautifully as Bester made it happen, showing the speed up that Miami sideline for 43 yards.
And just because there are no running backs playing right now doesn't mean you don't have to employ the run. And what Bester does is show you that on this jet sweep, he is a speed demon and a half, and that he outruns the secondary. And that blow right there was a sharp hit. But Bester, to his credit, gets up and picks up very positive yards and puts his offense in a very great position in the red zone. As you see right there, that is a shot and a half. That's where you get a rivalry.
That's right, Antonio Phillips.
On the field is a completed pass. Runner went out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The play is under further review.
All right, you hear for the first time tonight our game referee this evening here in Muncie, Indiana, is Tom Stapleton. This Mid-American Conference crew. Gerard and I spoke to our replay officials tonight, Steve Verjanik, the official, and Don Bundy, the communicator, and they have to go to work early on, Jay.
It is the issue of whether or not he stepped out. You see right here.
Watch this shot by Antonio Phillips, right?
Right there.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll remember that tomorrow.
Yeah, Phillips. This is a very young secondary, Gerard. While we're waiting on this booth review, you know, we spoke to both Mike New and Chuck Martin the other day in preparation for this one, and what Mike New said, and look, this is a defense, very young, but they're giving up 41 points a game. But he said, you know, we're in that area of playing 20 to 25 good, strong snaps, and we've got to focus on that and look to expand that, because that's not enough. But this, you know, you got 4 freshmen, a sophomore, and a redshirt sophomore of the top 6 in their secondary.
All right, as you see right there, scoring defense, 4th worst in the FBS. That's not going to win you any awards by any stretch of imagination, and total defense is not doing that well either. But here's the thing with the young football team, Michael. Situational. You recognize that 2 of the starters for the Redhawks are out. So what should you concentrate more on? The passing game. Be ready for misdirection, jet sweep type plays. Those are things that come along with the maturation of this young football team. So those are one of the things that takes place when you have such a young football team. Guys don't recognize the situations.
And we'll get into that quite a bit. So Tom Stapleton has just informed all of us after communication with the replay booth that Bester stepped out at the 17-yard line. So that's where the football is going to be spotted.
You see it right there. 17-yard line. And Bester saying, why'd I have to take that, absorb that hit then?
Red zone time for this Miami offense. And in the red zone this year, been going about 85%, putting points on the board. Now go to the run game here, and this Ball State defense rising up to put a strong hit on Leonard Ross. Ross is a 205-pound sophomore. There's Anthony Winbush. Winbush just a sack and a half away, as we told you. There's Winbush. Look, NFL scouts all over this guy, thinking about him standing up, Gerard, as a 2-point outside linebacker, maybe in a 3-4.
Exactly, because that's going to be the question for Winbush on the next level. Can you drop into the secondary area and get into pass route situations and feel comfortable and look comfortable in the process?
Ragland going to take a shot. Now they got that flag flying from the side judge, and that's either going to be a defensive hold or a pass interference. Is James Gardner. streaking up that sideline. Let's see. Let's wait to get the call. Josh Miller was in coverage. So we'll wait to hear again. Tom Stapleton, our referee tonight in this officiating crew.
Holding. Defense number 3. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So there's a transfer from Marion University, young man from Indianapolis, Josh Miller. Did he grab Gerard?
Yeah, at 5 yards, you have to let the receiver go, and then you're impeding his progress. So they're going to call that every time. Granted, pass interference, just like the holding call, is subjective, but right there it's pretty obvious that you were impeding the receiver.
And that football will be put at the 9-yard line. So now this is first down and goal from 9. Bester is offset with quarterback Gus Ragland. Bester on that quick pitch. Oh, that got blown up. Well, that's an outstanding job. Is coming up to make that first hit was Jeremiah Jackson. Jackson wears number 32, and he put that first initial belt onto Bester.
And the key to great defense is always penetration. And right here you see that as he gets that penetration, it allows Wimbush to come up and clean everything up. So great team defense right there on the part of the Cardinals.
TFL, Anthony Wimbush.
Exactly.
Tackle for loss. Yeah.
To the statistics.
Yeah, he came into tonight with 15.5 tackles for loss. As I mentioned a moment ago, there's the red zone proficiency for Miami at 84%. That includes touchdowns and field goals. 3 wide receivers. Gunning that in route. Ragland will fire the bullet. That's right on time, and that's touchdown. Hauled in beautifully by Miami's Sammy Martin, making that catch for the Miami touchdown.
You see, Ragland goes to his drop, and then Martin does a great job of beating his defender on the inside to get the score. One of the key things when you goal line area, you have to take away the inside if you're the defender. Easy catch and throw.
First opportunity with a football, puts 6 on the board. Samuel Sloman to add that PAT out of the hold of Jared Murphy. Holman is perfect there. And the Miami Redhawks behind a Gus Ragland touchdown throw to Sam Martin. That pitch and catch strike has Miami on top, 7-0. Gus Ragland with 3 or 4 on that drive, 32 yards, and of course fired that strike in the red zone to Sam Martin to put Miami Redhawks on top on this first drive of the football game for Gus Ragland. Again, 17th touchdown of the year, so he missed 3 football games now. And so Gerard, it has been a case of trying to stay healthy for Gus Ragland this year, and when he's missed 3, it has led to up and down performances for the Miami offense.
Exactly, and the key things is consistency. And when you have the signal caller there on a regular basis, then you can solidify those ties with the rest of your offense. But right there on that drive, you saw an excellent job on the part of Ragland and his receivers, and give credit to the offensive line of providing timing necessary to make those throws.
Wind swirling around. This is Malik Dunner for Ball State after that quick bobble. Dunner is trying to get to that edge and not going to get there. Excellent job from that Miami Redhawks kickoff cover squad, as among those are there to get in on that hit was Travion Banks. Gerard, how about this Ragland TD shot to Martin?
And the key part to the touchdown is that as a defender, you have to take away the inside when you're in the red zone area, because the easiest throw for a quarterback is the inside passing route. And if you're outside a line, you're pretty much saying throw to the inside and making it very easy and not problematic for the quarterback and receiver to catch the football. You have to take away the inside.
The 5th-year senior on senior night, his last performance in Schumann Stadium here at Ball State, Jack Milas. And it has been a quarterback carousel this year. And it's been young ones being able to get their reps at running back. That's Caleb Huntley on the carry. How about Huntley last week? 141 yards. There's Huntley. Good look at him, number 36. Give Huntley 4, call it 2nd and 6. Take a look at the numbers here on Jack Milas, Gerard.
Right, and Jack's again, has had the opportunity to lead this football team, asked to come in and fill duty for injured quarterbacks as well. And this football team, to their credit, has weathered the storm of having various signal callers have to go out there and play the QB position throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, Milas at 2nd and 6 fired that quick out, and Heath Harding was all over Riley Miller. Miller makes his first grab, and he's going to bring up 3rd down, and let's call it a yard here on this initial drive for Ball State. Need to pick that up. That 39%.
You definitely want to pick that up and stay on the football field, because this can get out of hand early, and you have a 3rd and manageable situation.
They lost their very talented running back, and now Milas will offset Caleb Huntley. And this is Huntley trying to get a push. Spot looks like it's going to move the sticks. 1st down, Ball State. They needed one, and Huntley was able to pick it up as he wedged it out behind big Vinny Palizzetti. We'll tell you more about Palizzetti tonight. Well, Vinny is the Rock of Gibraltar on this football team, playing the left tackle.
And to Huntley's credit, as you see right there, 141 yards, 5.4 average on 26 rushes. They have not missed the services of James Gilbert, who is a heavyweight in his own right as a quality running back for this Ball State offense.
Milas to put it up. Got flushed. Tried to sidearm that throw, and that was a sliding grab. And making that catch is one of the most talented young freshmen in the country, the dynamic Justin Hall.
Right, leads the MAC in several receiving categories, and for a freshman to have that type of production in a conference known for passing is very impressive.
Well, keep an eye on this young man, folks. Justin Hall, 160 pounds, maybe.
Going on the field is a completed pass for a 1st down. The play is under further review.
$1.60 if you had a real good breakfast in the morning to give him that good base for Justin Hall. But, you know, Mike New was telling us a lot of recruiting, fertile area in the state of Georgia for this Ball State program. Justin Hall, one of those young men.
And the issue at hand is whether or not he stepped out of bounds. As we see the play right there, you can't tell from that angle due to someone blocking the vision, but it looks like a catch to me.
Yeah, he made that catch, as you saw, and it looked like that he had his hands underneath that football. Gerard had it secured.
Yes, it did. And the interesting thing is that you say, how does Georgia Tech and Georgia not find this young man?
You asked Mike New about that.
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed pass stands. 1st down, Ball State.
Because the production level that Hall has put out there has been tremendous. And then when you add those small in stature, the tenacity that he brings to the game, the future is very bright for this Ball State offense.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. There's Heath Harding, one of the top cover corners around the FBS, and of course here in the Mid-American Conference. Now run that zone read. Offset again was the running back, and this is the carry from Malik Dunner. He's from Carpentersville, Illinois, the 200-pound sophomore. Dunner and Huntley, Dunner sophomore, Huntley freshman, have done a real good job in the absence of the 4th leading rusher in the MAC, James Gilbert, who went out early on this season.
Right, and one of the things that you appreciate about this drive in particular is that Ball State is at its best but has a mixture of run and pass, and that's what we're seeing on display right now.
On 2nd and 4. Going to run that reverse off the zone read. This Miami defense did not get fooled, but Justin Hall leaving them in his wake. They had Hall dead to rights, but he was able to pick up close to 4 and possibly move the chains here. We'll see.
And here's an example of that tenacity we're talking about, because most people would have given up on this play and said, okay, I'm going to quit, I'm done, and I'm finished, and I can't get anything positive out of this. But to his credit, watch Hall, he makes positive yards out of something that was really nothing out of something.
Well, since we've already seen him, right? Heath Harding on the Miami corner, and the dynamic Justin Hall.
Yeah, you just saw his talents on display right there, and his ability to get positive yards in a situation where it should have been a negative.
3 first downs have been negotiated by 5th-year senior Jack Milas. Now Milas, off that zone read look, is going to keep the football. Oh, but how about big Akeem Allen? He and Nate Trawick, 335-pounder Trawick, Allen at about 275. They really clogged things up.
And that's the key word right there, clog things up. Because when you have this type of penetration in the backfield, I don't care if it's a reverse, it's a counter, it's a power is not going to work when the defensive linemen have that much penetration.
How about Big Nate, huh? About 335?
That's the operative word, Big Nate.
Look like he's having fun. Whistles, flags, as that snap. It's going to be a false start on Ball State.
False start, offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, Ball State, now this is Gerard, less than 4 penalties per game as the party Nolan Given, the redshirt freshman tight end.
And when you have a football team that's struggling, typically you have a situation in place where there are a lot of penalties, and that's one of the things that's so impressive and lets you know that Coach New is doing a good job of coaching, just not seeing any production, and that when you're the third best team in the FBS when it comes to being least penalized, that speaks volumes that you do have a disciplined football team. The issue is being a young football team and getting these guys to figure out how to produce in the scoring column and preventing scores from taking place.
Off that play fake out of the zone read, Jack Milas will keep the football. Milas got that 5 back and about 6 more to the 49-yard line. So showing again the zone read principles, and Milas kept the football.
Exactly. One of the things that you see so far with this team is they don't have the body language or the energy of a team that has not won a conference game. They give effort. Coach New talked about that during the course of practice. Guys work hard. Guys are committed. It's just not getting the job done yet on the football field on Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Sure. This is 3rd and 5. Pressure coming. Oh, Milas got stuck as he delivered. That throw is hauled in, but it is going to be very short of the line of scrimmage. Milas took a big hit, was able to locate the freshman Justin Hall. But watch this heat coming on Milas.
And give credit to Milas for having the courage to stay in the pocket because he knows he's going to get hit, but yet he sticks with it because he's committed to the cause. And Hall once again shows you his ability to make plays. That's why he's the leader in the MAC. He catches everything that goes his way.
DeAndre Daniels. This is a 4th down and a 4. The line to make is at the 46-yard line, and Milas now is going to boot it away out of that quick punt formation. Got that to turn over real well. Milas will, for a quarterback, that's pretty good work in getting that football out of there, and Ball State will pin Miami back to the 7-yard line on that 43-yard punt. 7-0, Miami's Red Hawks when we get back. A very productive opening drive for the Miami Red Hawks to get the board lit up, Gerard.
All right, one of the key things that you'll see throughout the course of these highlights is that you have to defend the middle of the football field and you have to set the edge on the boundary, because if you don't do that, Bester is going to show you why he's one of the best at doing what he did just right there, and that's picking up positive yards. And right here, Ragland with the touchdown. That's how you pitch and catch. It's a very impressive drive on the part of the Red Hawks.
Chuck Martin will take it, right? 75 yards.
Yes, he will.
3 minutes. And Ragland was sharp going to work through the air. Now, both Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith, their 2 top running backs, are dinged up. Young's in uniform tonight, not sure if he's going to go. And this is the 3rd tailback, Leonard Ross. And Ross got a couple. Jacob White, the Mike linebacker who wears number 2 out of Clarendon Hills, Illinois, made the stop on Ross.
And if I'm a defender for Ball State or I'm a coach, what I'm telling these guys is they're not committed to the run. So understand that, yes, we have to play a balanced type of a defense, but understand they're going to try to attack you more from an aerial standpoint than a run because of the 2 guys that you have missing in the backfield right now that you just mentioned.
Do you expect them to look for that matchup on 6'5" James Gardner and look to get him the football tonight, Gerard, a lot?
You have to feature Gardner. He's one of your key players, and what you want to do is take the will away from Ball State, and you do that by getting on top early.
Antonio Phillips has got the assignment on him, bottom of your screen. Stay with the run game, though. Look at running back Leonard Ross, the 205-pound redshirt sophomore, continue to battle. Got a couple of tough yards, but Ball State's got an opportunity to get off the field here, partner, on 3rd down and 6.
You see Leonard Ross, 5'11", 205-pound sophomore out of Illinois.
Yeah, so again, I mean, Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith, they've between them combined for over 1,400 yards on the ground this year. Probably not going to see either one of them tonight, and you could tell Chuck Martin was lamenting that to us during our production call. Now Ragland got flushed. Ball State got that stop. assuming Chuck Martin doesn't want to try anything gadget-wise here on 4th down. So looking like a 3-and-out for the Ball State defense here after they gave up the TD on the opening drive.
Exactly, and that's how you settle down, get your composure back, and go out there and get off the football field and give your offense another opportunity to play some more football and get some positive yards as well as points on the board. Great job by the Cardinals on that particular series of stopping Miami.
That's Kyle Kramer, who wears that number 9 in red on his white Miami road jersey. On that line drive shot, is going to angle out of bounds in Ball State territory outside the numbers. So Ball State's going to have pretty nice field position. They will start from their own 49. We'll see what the Cardinals offense gives you when we get back. You like the winterish setting here, huh? The Ball State Cardinal Pep Band, a marching band, snow swirling around Schumann Stadium. Michael Regide, Gerard Cherry, 7-0 Miami. Milas going to go that misdirection screen. Miami got there, though. 5 white shirts all over it as they were able to chase that down and put a lick on Marquise Hurt, the 190-pound freshman out of Michigan City, Indiana. I want to go throwback, Gerard. Misdirection screen. A lot of times you'll see that bust big. Miami scouted it well.
That they did, and give credit to Heath Harding for diagnosing from the cornerback position. Now, he wasn't in on the tackle, but his ability to read it and then react and get up there and create a boundary forced the hand of Ball State.
Loss of 1 on 2nd and 11 again. Setting that edge wonderfully well. Gerard will lay that out for you and let you know what that means. Miami did it and knocked down Malik Dunner.
And that's key to having a sound defense, is that you have to set the edge.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Try to get an identification on that. That might be Nolan Given, the young man I mentioned. Given, who wears number 88, the redshirt freshman. Gerard, remember when we had Ball State earlier this year? Mike New was raving about him. He came into the program as a 205-pound wide receiver. He's 250 now in 1 year. Weight room monster, and has earned that starting tight end spot as a redshirt frosh.
Right, and that's what we call growing into the body. But right there is a situation where friendly fire catches him because he's getting pushed back, and then he lands awkwardly on that leg. So that you hope he's okay. But that happens often in football games in which you're blocking and doing your job, and then someone runs up on your heel, and bad things occur.
Yeah, did it look like he got rolled up on? You called it friendly fire.
Yeah.
Rolled up on as he was heading down to the turf.
Exactly. You see Nolan, freshman, 245, and as Michael said earlier, was brought here as a wide receiver, but grew into that frame, and now they're utilizing his skill set as a tight end.
Yeah, about 200 pounds when he came in the program, and that was in the summer of 2016. So they got him up at 245, and now they said, you know, you're our tight end, you're our H-back.
Right, one of the benefactors of going to the camp here and being noticed from that.
He's had a good year too, Jay. 4 touchdowns and 24 catches, and let's hope that Nolan Given. He's walking off the field with the assistance of the Ball State training staffs. We'll keep an eye on Given, see if he can get back in this one.
It's for those parents out there listening. See, there are benefits to sending your children to the football camps. It can result in a scholarship.
There you go. All right, this is 3rd down now. 3rd and 11. Milas to put it up. Going to take a shot in the seam. That almost got picked off. Well, Milas saw Khalil Newton draw it. It looked like Newton flashed just for that nanosecond, and Milas tried to fit it in.
Yeah, and Milas did try to get into a tight window, as you see right here. This is where you do have to attack the football, but give credit once again to the secondary of the Red Hawks on making a play on the football, because that's your job. You have to break things up and not allow passes to go down the middle of the football field.
Tony Reed, huh? That senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Reed's had a couple of picks this year. That's his 9th pass breakup out of year. And now to punt it away is Nathan Snyder standing at his 35. Well, Snyder whiffed on it after he bobbled it. Football still alive inside the 15-yard line. Football still alive inside the 10. Miami's got it off the punt whiff. And then the ensuing scrum from Nathan Snyder will ID who finally came up with that football on the punt cover squad for Miami.
And unfortunately, this is one of those situations that will make the blooper highlight reel. And you appreciate the effort on the part of the Cardinals of trying to pick the football up. But one of the things that you do want to do when you're the defense is pick it up, scoop, and score. Weren't able to do that, but great job on the part of the Red Hawks of getting the penetration and making a positive play, and once again putting their offense in a situation where they're in the red zone area with the potential to score.
Yeah, Doug Costin had a shot at it, but it looked to us like coming up with that football was Brad Koenig. Koenig, the redshirt junior out of Ann Arbor Pioneer High School, right across the street from the big house on the University of Michigan campus. Chuck Martin liking that. Now, I believe that was Morgan Hagee, too, who was on that punt attempt. Now, Ragland's got to escape that pocket, and he got pushed out of bounds after maybe he got a couple.
And that's one of the reasons why Coach New employs the quarterback pooch kick, because they've had issues with the special teams unit, in particular punting team, with problems just like that.
So the special teams gaff, and always something. Gerard, what the coaches always tell us. No, we've been there. Well, you get a punt blocked or have a punt whiff like that, or just have a mishap on specials. Hard to win.
Yes,
hard to overcome it.
Because when you're a young football team, your margin for error is already extremely low, so you cannot afford to have those type of mishaps.
Ragland going to throw the fade into the corner of the end zone. He was looking for 6'5" Luke Mayock. Nice coverage from Ball State, as on that corner was Josh Miller in coverage with Mayock.
And right there, Josh did a nice job with just timing the hands of the receiver to break that pass up. You want to be patient, don't grab, do it just like that. When you see those hands flash, that's when you bat it away.
Gerard and I have had Miami earlier this year. This is one of the biggest receiving corps in college football. And they look for matchup advantage and go to it. Ragland will come middle. That throw is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jared Murphy. Murphy with his 2nd touchdown grab of the year.
And you hate to sound like a broken record, but Bryce Cosby will also learn that you have to defend the inside. That is the key to playing in the red zone area, as you see right here. If you allow the receiver to beat you inside, that is going to be the quarterback's first read, because that's the easiest throw to complete. You have to take that away, especially when there's no one in the middle of the football field defending it in the first place. You'd rather have him beat you outside as opposed to inside.
Yeah, we discussed that over and over again as Samuel Sloman had the PAT, and he will connect on that. And how many defensive coordinators and defensive secondary coaches have said, do not let a receiver cross your face.
Say it all the time, and it's about understanding the situation at hand. When you're in the red zone area, you do not want the easy catch and throw, and the easy catch and throw is the inside route. Please throw it to me on the outside. Please attempt to do a fade route, because again, it is a greater difficulty to throw those type of passes as opposed to inside.
Chuck Martin's football team, the offense, after that that Ball State special team miscue has gotten this 14-0 lead. And as we told you, we came on the air tonight, this is the initial game in the Redbird rivalry. Miami, Ohio, Ball State, the Red Hawks of Miami, the Cardinals of Ball State. Would you say, Gerard, less than 80 miles separate the two campuses?
Right, and when you have that short a distance between two campuses, believe me when I tell you that you frequent the same spots, you go to the same areas, and you hang out in the same venues, and when you do go to those places, you are puffing your chest out saying, I can't wait to see you that following season to see who are the better man and the better football team. So it's a natural rivalry exactly when you're that close in proximity.
Yeah, they're going to develop a trophy for it, as boy, it's a difficult time keeping the football on the tee for kickoffs. Again, for Miami, doing the kickoff work tonight. That's Sam Sloman, another young man out of the state of Georgia. Malik Dunner back in one of the deep spots for Ball State. And the Sloman kick to the 15-yard line. Solid return for Ball State on the 21-yard line. And for the Cardinals on that return, their backup corners, Marquise Hurt that we've seen at running back here tonight. So Ball State now down by a couple of touchdowns. 2:03 left in this opening quarter. Here's the numbers, Gerard, on Jack Milas.
Yeah, the completions are there. The only problem is not that many yards. And you appreciate the fact that it's a 0 and INT, but you definitely want to get something in where that TD is located.
Trying to establish that run game, and again, the middle, Nate Trawick and Akeem Allen are the two defensive tackles. And you can see that they, along with Doug Costin, one defensive end, Pasquale Calcagno, that front four is pretty solid for this Miami defense this year. Gerard, they give up about 25 points a game, but you know they've had some real strong performances, and that front seven, a lot of the coaches say, is one of the best in the MAC.
Yeah, they get after you, no doubt about that. And Coach Pawlowski, defensive coordinator, for the Red Hawks, has to be encouraged by that because he's in a situation now where he's making Ball State one-dimensional, and he can call easier plays once he has a beat on what they want to do on the offensive end.
On 2nd and 10, that was intended for Justin Hall, and it was broken up. Outstanding play from Joshua Allen, the hard-hitting 205-pound junior. Allen timed that up beautifully and dislodged it from freshman Justin Hall.
Exactly, because Justin has his hands on the football, but what Josh does is he just last second swipes his arm across and shows you why you work out in the weight room, so he can use his strength to rip that ball out.
I tell you, my partner Gerard Cherry made that one of his staples.
That's right.
Strength, man, right?
It all comes into play.
Yes, it does. I like that. Joshua Allen showed that right there. This is 3rd and 10 now. Can Milas pick this up, trailing 14-0? He's going to check down and put it in the hands of his tight end. He hit Kyle Schrank. I don't see Nolan Given as of yet. That got 5 on that check down. Milas didn't want to put it up in traffic. Ball State's going to have to punt the football away.
And to his credit, Milas made the correct read because that was the only receiver open. Granted, it wasn't near the sticks, but you don't want to force the issue and have another turnover or have a turnover as well. So back to boot this football away after this is Nathan Snyder, and again it was Morgan Hagee who had the problems on that last snap. Snyder hit a pretty good one as Jared Murphy, the sure-handed punt returner, will haul that in at the 19-yard line. And you feel for Hagee because he made the quintessential mistake that we always talk about. Though a team sport, never let him see your backup.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So after the Murphy fair catch, we'll keep it right here in the waning seconds of this opening quarter, and you get a good look there at Anthony Winbush. He's one of the finest rush defensive ends in all of the FBS, folks. 5th-year senior, 245-pounder out of Indianapolis Warren Central High School. And this young man being looked at very closely by the NFL. There's Keith McKenzie as D-line coach. And McKenzie has the existing career record here that was tied as Jalen Bester will run that jet sweep for 4 to the 23-yard line.
And when you see Bester that close to the tackle box, you have to make the assumption that it's going to be some type of jet sweep action when you consider that you don't have Young and you don't have the other quality backs. Smith, right. Alonzo Smith in the backfield for the Redhawks.
That's right. 15 minutes in the books. Jalen Bester has been doing a yeoman's share of the load running the football out of the jet.
That's the end of the first quarter.
All right. Thank you, Tom Stapleton. Miami's Redhawks with football, already with a 14-0 lead in this Redbird rivalry game on the road and getting after Ball State quarterback Jack Milas. 14-0. Miami's Redhawks top of the Ball State Cardinals in our first Redbird rivalry game. Yeah, you see the snow swirling around. It's like that winter globe that you bring out right during the holiday season. And this man, Gus Ragland, has had his Miami offense rolling 87 total yards. And Ragland's going to look to put it up and now pull it down and step out of bounds right around the 25-yard line for a short gain of a couple.
Yeah, the key part is a couple of positive yards. That's what you want on these drives, just to keep those chains moving. Missed an opportunity right there. One of his receivers was coming open, but he trusted the idea of being cautious as opposed to taking a chance. And you can respect that decision and live to play another down if you don't trust what you see.
1 for 2 on third down pickups. Ragland on that quick out. And that is his sure-handed slot receiver making that grab, Jared Murphy, who caught the touchdown on the last possession. Ball placement nice in this swirling condition.
Very nice ball
Ragland,
placement. And that's what we call taking what the defense gives you. If the defender is going to play inside technique and you have freedom to the outside to make a catch, you do exactly that type of read. And that's the difficult thing about covering receivers, because nowadays they all have options. If he's inside, I go outside. That's what you saw right there.
Veteran quarterback Gus Ragland again. He missed 3 football games this year. And, you know, Chuck Martin was telling us, he said the injuries hurt, kind of got him out of his consistency. Play action, and Ragland's going to fire this football to the sideline. And he was trying to find a sliding Sam Martin. How about that? Looked like he was just trying to throw the football away, Gerard, and all of a sudden here comes Martin sliding to try to help his quarterback out.
Yeah, and I believe the wind played a part on knocking that football down, because that was completely a throwaway football. But due to the conditions out here, it almost was a completion. And that's what you appreciate, though, a receiver not giving up on the route, even though it shouldn't have been in any vicinity near that football.
Yeah, Gus Ragland has thrown his 17th and 18th touchdown passes of the year. Now going to set up that tunnel screen. That's Jared Murphy on the grab. Look out! Murphy with speed. Hitting the accelerator. Murphy inside the 5 and got in the end zone. We do have a flag at the 45-yard line. Yeah, right in front of that Miami bench. And Gerard, I think it's coming back.
It appears to be holding, Michael, and that's one of the things that you hate to see on an exciting play like that, is a holding call with guys doing his job and they bring it back, or doing it too well.
Holding, offense number 81. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
James Gardner right there, top of your screen.
And this is what I call, and yes, James was tight to him, but that's one of those ones, even as a DB, you let that go and say, come on, he wasn't going to be in on the play anyway. I'm pretty sure Coach Martin's not too happy about that, but you appreciate the effort on the part of Gardner.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, second down.
All right, you hear Tom Stapleton. They will spot this football from the spot of that foul. Gerard, my question to you is, though, peripheral vision on wide receivers, coaches are talking about why you're stalk blocking, right? And coach, when you see that your receiver, teammate, ball carrier get even with you, pull it.
Pull off,
pull it off, right?
But to Gardner's credit, and just to give him some defense, that play was not supposed to be on that side of the football field. So in his mind, what's going on anyway?
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. That tunnel screen, and Murphy took a rather circuitous route.
Yes, he did.
But he found open real estate. All for naught, though. No, it is wiped off the books. Ragland, seam route, contact. contact. That's going to be either a hold or a PI as Ryan Smith, the big tight end, was being jostled trying to go get the football.
Yeah, and the refs are going to call that every time if you see a receiver or tight end be it.
Pass interference, defense number 43. Ball will be placed at the front of the foul, first down.
As I was saying, whenever you have a situation where you're tackling a receiver in the open field, they have to call that. You appreciate the contact, but you have to definitely sell it much better than that.
Yeah, that is the freshman. That's a true freshman, folks, out of Kettering Alter High School. So you're getting a lot of playing time. And David Ruth, who has done a very solid job this year behind Jacob White at that Mike linebacker. He got caught there, though. On our first down, jet sweep again. The speed of Jalen Bester moved the sticks again. Bester still alive as he didn't go down and powered his way to the 31-yard line. That's 18 yards and a first down for Bester.
And what this young Ball State defense is going to have to recognize is Bester gets positive yards, and what you appreciate is he sticks with the play, assuming that he's not down, but he keeps moving. You appreciate that type of effort, but this young defense has to realize from a formation standpoint, when you see Bester close to the tackle box, chances are it's a jet sweep and he's going to get the football.
The previous play is that the runner made the line to gain for a first down. The play is under further review.
All right, it'll come upstairs, as we said, to the replay booth here that is manned tonight by a couple of Gerard and I. You know, we do games. We talk to the two gentlemen, the replay booth, the replay official Steve Furjanic tonight, along with Don Bondi, the communicator, and well, these guys are always on top of their game, and they'll be the ones that make the determination about where did he go down.
Yeah, because the question is, did his tailbone touch the ground? If that is the case, he's down.
Yeah. It kind of looked like he did, and then he bounced
up.
Of the.
As you see right here, the question at hand is, did the tailbone touch the ground? And that's still difficult to tell.
Right.
But you like the awareness on his part, Bester, to keep moving.
And that was big Anthony Winbush, too.
Yes, down the football field, making a play. Those are the type of things, even though it's a positive play for the Red Hawks, if you're a scout and you're evaluating Winbush, you ask, does he have a motor? Does he play throughout the course of the snap, or does he just quit once there's no one in his vicinity? But that's being weighed on the football field, so that bodes definitely well for him from a scouting standpoint.
Sure. As you look at Bester, and that's what you were pointing out a moment ago.
After review, the runner was down at the 41-yard line. It will be second down and 1 at the 42-yard line. The clock will start on the ready for play.
Let's take another peek. Watch Winbush track this down and get Bester on the ground here.
As you see it right here, that's the question. Right there, that's where the down is called, because the tailbone did touch the ground.
This is second and very short now. Second and 1. The line to make is at the 41-yard line.
And this is where you have to be aware of a shot because of the situation at hand. That is easily a manageable pick-up first down situation, so they may take a shot for the end zone.
I'm going to set that screen up. Making that grab again and lining up in the backfield this time. Jalen Bester yet one more time. So Gerard, again, we came in tonight saying the two outstanding running backs who combined for over 1,400 yards this year for Miami, Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith, banged up, probably not going to play. How about the wrinkle that co-offensive coordinators George Barnett and Eric Kaler have added? A lot of Jalen Bester jets, tunnel screens, running the football.
And those are essentially glorified running plays, in that you're getting the ball in the hands of a playmaker via pass or handoffs coming from the opposite side of the football field. As you said, a great job of creating wrinkles to still have a semblance of a running game.
Yeah, that's Leonard Ross. That's just straight ISO power play off the left side out of the gun.
Excuse me.
And he got 5, and that will move the sticks. You see the total yards.
Right, and that's a reflection of what's on the scoreboard right now. One team's having production and one's not.
Again, Leonard Ross off the right side here. Ball State defended that well. And they'll knock that down after a very short game. Jalen Thomas. Thomas wears number 6. Redshirt freshman out of Lima Senior High School. Real strong football program in the west side of the state of Ohio.
And these are the type of drives that wear on a defense when the offense has the ability just to control the football the way they're doing with the run-pass option. It creates a situation where you're off balance because as a defensive coordinator, what do you call the situation?
Yeah. Well, listen, it's all about the guessing game, right? So, but again, the point, two key members of this offensive football team sidelined tonight. Blitz coming. Ragland's going to throw that fade. And trying to high point that football and bring it down for the Miami Redhawks was Luke Mayock. Mayock not able to haul it in. Defending on that play again.
Josh Miller did an excellent job of defending that play right there because that's exactly how you do it. You should be fired up and excited because that's how you play corner on the outside right there. You see the receiver making a move for the football, you react to it, and you bat the football down just like that.
Miller's had a real busy night.
Yes, he has.
Ragland's been taking some shots at him, too, but he's held up pretty well. And this is 3rd down and 9 now for Gus Ragland, the Miami offense. Ragland triggered that throw, and Josh Miller, had that been a little bit higher, he might have had himself the INT. Would have been his 2nd of the year. He's acquitted himself very well in coverage.
Yes, he is. And Josh Miller is telling the sideline of the Redhawks, you're messing with the wrong man right now. I'm hot. I'm feeling it. You need to go the other direction because nothing's happening on this side of the football field as he's doing his version of a shutdown corner. Excellent coverage again on the part of Josh Miller. And if you're Ragland, you just don't want to throw that out there. You have to make sure that the receiver is open. You definitely dodged a bad situation potentially bad situation right there.
All right, this swirling breeze now at the back of Sam Sloman. This is a 54-yard attempt. Enough leg? Enough direction? Nope. It faded wide left. So Sloman not able to hit from 54. Ball State football when we get back. Still 14-0 Miami. Second-year Ball State Cardinals head football coach Mike New, former outstanding quarterback here in the MAC. His offensive football team back on the board. His 5th-year senior Jack Milas making the start. Oh, it's been a rough year on the quarterback room in Muncie. We'll get into that in a moment for you. So Milas, the 2nd quarter series with his team down 14-0. And out of that zone read game, 4 on 1st down is going to run the football and trying to establish something. Is on that carry, Caleb Huntley. 4 quarterbacks, Gerard, and I mean when you got to play 4 because of injuries. Riley Neal, the strong arm, 225 pounds junior, started the first 3 games of the year. He went down with a leg injury. Milas came in, keep it on the ground with Huntley, and Huntley's real close to a 1st down as trying to wedge some tough yards out before he got dragged down from the backside by Doug Costin. Then after Riley Neal, Zach Blair, redshirt sophomore, played a game, got injured. Then Drew Plitt came in, started against Eastern Michigan, and now back to Plitt got injured, and Milas returns.
And all that speaks of is the idea that you don't have continuity. When you don't have continuity and consistency on any type of situation in football, if it's a quarterback, good luck trying to have any success because you need that signal caller to be the one who gives the cadence and guys get used to his sense of direction and leadership. And when you don't have that, it's very challenging and difficult to have a successful offensive unit as well as win football games.
Yeah, that's what's happened. So 3 straight runs for the big fella, Caleb Huntley, the 230-pound freshman out of Atlanta. Huntley 6 totes, 17 yards tonight. Got a good block from Grant Williamson. So 3 straight runs and move the chains here. Make it run number 4 in succession. This time Huntley got stood up as coming up from that corner to make that hit for the Redhawks of Miami. And they're very active out of that secondary too. Making that stop was Darius Thompson.
And the run wasn't impressive, but the fact that Huntley ran it 4 times in a row as a freshman, true freshman at that, you have to be impressed with what he's done thus far this year. In coming to the season, essentially hoping to be a backup, he's become the bell cow for this offense. He has a bright future ahead of him as well. Very impressed with his ability and what the future looks like for him.
Double move as Milas's throw is broken up at the last moment. It was intended for Justin Hall. Hall was running in the seam and trying to put a double move on, but Joshua Allen, partner, was having none of it.
No, Joshua Allen has been on fire tonight, because typically Hall comes down with this nice double move on the part of Hall, but that's where it's up to Miles to have to lead him, because if he leads him on that play, that's potentially a touchdown. So in reality, the situation is that you allowed Allen to get back into the play because it was an underthrown ball.
Yeah, 3rd down and 9 now. Ball State operating into the swirling breeze here. We've had snow showers for most of the football game. Seems like they've subsided in the moment. This is 3rd and 9. Miles 2 of 5. Going to pull the football down. Trying to seek out that line to make, and he's going to come up about 4 yards short as he got popped at the 46-yard line. What do you do if you're Mike New here? Who's going to send the punt team out?
Yeah, you don't want to get away. And Miles may have hesitated just a little too long, because right there when he was questioning, that's when he probably should have taken off and not allowed the defenders to come up and recover so he could have more positive yards and potentially have picked up that 1st down.
Yeah, Brad Koenig made that stop, that hard-hitting linebacker. Redshirt junior Koenig was the one that came up with that fumbled punt and recovery that led to the 2nd Miami TD. Nathan Snyder, well, he did not get this one to turn over the way he wanted it. Short boot that slides out of bounds. All right, Miami football. Hawks with a 14-0 lead when we come back to Muncie. While we were away in this break, the left guard, Zach Ricketts, who wears number 71 for Ball State, got hit with a hold. And as that punt then slid off the side of Nathan Snyder's foot, Gerard, it's a net of a 1-yard punt. After that holding penalty was called against Mike New's protection unit in the punt game.
And if your coach knew, you strongly have to start considering, you see right there, 1 for 10 for Miami and 4 of 35 for Ball State regarding penalties. You have to strongly start considering going for it on 4th down, because if you're going to have turnovers that lead to points, as well as a net of 1 yard and poor protection on your kicking game, you may consider just going for it on 4th down as opposed to bringing out the punting unit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see how that develops. So with a 14-0 lead, Gus Ragland back at it. Ragland will throw that quick shot and put it in the hands of Jared Murphy. Murphy, who's caught 1 touchdown pass tonight and had a 2nd called back, just rambles for 13, and if I make it 12, a 1st down for Miami.
And that's an excellent play call on part of co-coordinator for offense for the Red Hawks and Eric Kohler, in that if the defense is going to play that far off the football field and you have just one guy at the line of scrimmage and you have a free receiver, no one checking his release, take that all day.
4 grabs, 42 yards now. Now go back to the ground game. And well, how about Jalen Bester? He's a 165-pound true freshman, Gerard. And without running backs Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith tonight, Bester has lined up everywhere. He's lined up in the slot.
For an injured player.
He's lined up in the slot, and he's lined up offset. He's lined up wide, and he has been dynamic with the football as we get this timeout for the Miami injury.
He certainly has. And one of the things that you have to start diagnosing as a defender is that when you see him in the game and near the tackle box, he is more than likely getting the football. So you should highlight that. But understand, from a scouting report standpoint, you probably weren't going to this game with much consideration for him. But now that you're in the course of the game, you have to come to the consideration and realization that, hey, he's going to get the football when he's close to the tackle box.
Jalen Bester came in here tonight with 12 carries of the football, running the ball on the year. He's had 5 for 53 yards tonight. He's caught a couple of passes as well. So, he's got 7 touches. And again, a lot of this is, as we chatted with Chuck Martin, you could tell he was disappointed. Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith, his 2 top running backs, Gerard, 781 yards and 6 TDs for Young. 660 yards and 2 TDs for Smith. So over 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns, and neither one of them able to go tonight. And Bester has done a terrific job stepping in.
Right, well, it's going to be an interesting situation as Mitch Palmer gets off the ground, Michael, and that center to quarterback exchange is the most important play in football. And it's going to be a challenge now that you have your starting center out the game.
Yeah, so you see Chuck Martin, and let's see who takes over at that center spot now. And it looks like, is it And it's probably going to be, I don't know if it's Ryan Mullen or not. We'll check it out in a second, give it to you after this play. Now it is Mullen at the center spot. Ragland's throw is deflected and then hauled in inside the 20-yard line. Well, Ragland fortunate there, looking like maybe it's an INT, but the sure-handed Jared Murphy bailed him out again.
And Michael, this is what I call living right, because this should be an interception on the part of Ragland, but because he's living right, the football gods gave him a break. You don't want to make that throw into that type of territory where you have a defender underneath your receiver doing a curl route, but give credit to his receiver of sticking to the pass and coming down with the ball that should have been intercepted.
And so it is Ryan Mullen at the center spot, and go back to the ground game and run the football with Leonard Ross. Ross, and sometimes you lose your center as Mitch Palmer went out. We'll keep an eye on him. Ryan Mullen backs up, and maybe sometimes you not only you have miscommunication with snaps, but just physical snaps that go awry. So we'll keep an eye on Mullen's exchanges.
Right, all that comes into play and factors in because, one, getting used to the cadence, how's he snap it, all those things play a part in how successful your offense is with that center quarterback exchange.
Throwing that fade for the big James Gardner. He'll make the grab and stretch it over that goal line. Touchdown to Miami. James Gardner, the 6'5" wideout, with his 11th touchdown catch of the year.
This is a simple situation where James Gardner is the big man on campus, and he uses that size and that ability to go up for the football and to come down with it, to stretch his body across the goal line to get those 6 points, making that number 11 on the year for Gardner in regards to TDs.
And Antonio Phillips, he's a rangy 6-foot freshman, but
right.
I mean, they're working out. James Gardner is a 6'5" 220-pound wideout that knows how to high point the football. And as we said, Gerard, Miami does a terrific job identifying their size matchups on the outside.
Exactly, and that's considered being a big corner when you're 6 feet tall in the first place.
Yeah, right.
But when you're matching up against 6'5", either the jumping ability has to come into play or just simply stripping the football. But right here, Gardner does essentially a fade stop, and that puts the defender in a bad spot because he's overrunning the receiver, and that gives Gardner a chance to come back to the football, and maybe 2 or 3 things are going to happen. One, PI, or what just took place right there. As you see right there, fade stop. And they're looking for the knee right now to see if that was down prior to him in his zone.
On the field of a touchdown stance.
Oh, it is touchdown number 11 on the year for the angular wide receiver James Gardner out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And for Gus Ragland, his 3rd touchdown hookup of the night. 19 now on the year, and Miami looking to stretch this lead to 21-0. Samuel Sloman again to add the PAT. Out of the hold of Jared Murphy. Been a big night for the quarterback we featured in our open, Gus Ragland. 21-0 Miami. At Ball State Cardinal sideline, where they're sending out seniors tonight here in the final game of this football season of 2017. Ball State down 21-0 as Gus Ragland and his receivers continue to stay hot on this this chilly November snowy evening here in Muncie. Malik Dunner back in one of the deep spots. Ball State looks to get something generated here before the half. That's not what Chuck Martin wanted there. As that football sails out of bounds, and Ball State's going to start from the 35-yard line here.
No, he certainly doesn't, and that's really a reflection of the season in that you have signs of promise, but then you have hiccups like that.
Yeah.
You have to eliminate those things if you're going to take that next step.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, 1st down.
Let's go back and take another look here.
And missed opportunities is the operative word, Michael. And that right there, that should have been an interception. It went through your hands, and by not making that play, it eventually led to 7 points for the Red Hawks. You have to take advantage of those opportunities when they come your way, and that's one of the things this young football team will learn through the course of time, that when it presents itself, you have to, again, make those plays.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And now the 21-0 lead. You know, Chuck Martin was saying we need a win. We need a win. We want to send our seniors out on a great note, get to 4-4 in the MAC, even though there's disappointment over this will not be a bowl campaign. Look at the speed and surging outside the numbers out of that zone read first down call is Caleb Huntley. So Huntley having a strong night, carried it 4 times in a row on the last series for Ball State.
And Caleb Huntley is definitely a running back that you want to set the edge on and not allow him free space to the boundary, because if you do not set the edge, that will take place on a regular basis in which he's going to pick up positive yards, in that case enough for a first down.
It's 21 yards for Huntley as Darius Thompson belted him out of bounds. Milas to put it up. Should have been picked off as he left his throw short as Brad Koenig dropped back in that deep zone coverage out of the linebacker spot for Miami.
And what Milas has to know as a senior, you can't throw across your body in those situations, especially when you have a defender sitting in the zone and you recognize it's a zone coverage and then you have a crossing route. You do not want to make that throw and that decision on his part. Very fortunate that he did not throw an INT.
Yeah, Milas glad he's getting that one back as he was looking for Khalil Newton. Milas now will gun that quick slant, and that's knocked away and incomplete as Heath Harding came up to dislodge the football.
Incomplete pass, third down.
Again, he went for Khalil Newton and had it broken up by Harding. Going to bring up third down now.
And Harding did a superb job of doing what we talked about earlier in the red zone area. What do you want to do? Take away the inside. When you make a declaration that you're going to take away something, take it away. You can't guard everything on the football field. You have to be determined that, hey, you're not going to beat me on the inside. And right there, Harding was exactly that.
Yeah, he's garnering NFL attention. Just 2 of 6 on third downs. Milas trying to ad-lib, improvise. He's going to come up way short. 3rd and 10. Milas got 4. Now, I mentioned it last time. You're down 21-0. You're at Miami's 40-yard line. Is this go time? Nope, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, you want to do you say the prudent thing, but when your special team units has been struggling in the manner and fashion in which they have, I have no issue or problem with him leading that offense on the football field and trying to go for it.
The offense has been sketchy this year. Yes, a lot of injuries. As we said, 4 quarterbacks and the loss of outstanding running back James Gilbert. There just hasn't been a lot of continuity as Nathan Snyder hit this over the head of Jared Murphy and into the end zone, which will get Gus Ragland on the football field again. And Gerard Cherry, we featured him in the open of the show. It's been a special night for this outstanding Miami quarterback.
Yes, Gus has shown the ability to beat you on the inside with his throws, as you see right here for the 2 touchdowns. And then right here, the old fade stop. As a defender, you cannot stand this route because they're using your momentum against you, and they execute it to perfection because it led to 6 points.
Yeah. Out of the tradition-rich program, I'm sure so many of you that follow college football, as you look at Ragland's numbers on the night, most effective. That when you hear Cincinnati Moeller High School, you know that program down through the decades has been one of the very best, one of the preeminent high school programs, not just in Ohio, but all over the country. And Ragland off play action. He's going to take a shot deep. And that wind got that swirling breeze because he left that real short as Sam Martin tried to come back. Martin was already about 7 yards further upfield as he was being covered by Ball State's corner Antonio Phillips.
Yes, and Antonio Phillips right there should have had an interception as well. And I'll say it again. Gus Ragland must be living right because that was 2 opportunities missed on the part of the Cardinals to get an INT.
Think it may go back to the ground game here on 2nd and 10. No. Play action. Play it pitch and catch. Going to hook up with wide receiver Sam Martin. Martin made a move and he's got a first down. Now we've got flags flying on the back end of that. And we get excessive contact that was possibly
potential targeting.
Yeah. neck, face, shoulder, head area. We'll see.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 32. The play is under further review.
That's Jeremiah Jackson, the outside linebacker. Gerard, let's take a couple of peeks at this and see what we can determine here.
And as a defender, what you're taught to do is swarm to the football. And if the receiver's standing up like that, you go after him. So that's going to be a difficult one to call because you want to hit someone flush like that and square up. And I see more shoulder as opposed to helmet. It's just, as you see right here, look at it.
The targeting call under review is for Ball State number 6.
Yeah, they gave the wrong number there. I was going to say as we took a look at it, I initially said Jeremiah Jackson is number 32. Jackson wasn't on the field. It was Jalen Thomas, the redshirt freshman out of Lima Senior High School. So there's your targeting rules again, Gerard. Dangerous hits.
Because I felt that he led with the shoulder, and then in the need to bring the receiver down, he put his head into the eventual hit. When you're square like that, you're pretty much in a situation where it's going to be hard to determine whether or not it's targeting.
After review, the action by number 6 was not targeting. There is no foul on the play.
Well, Jalen Thomas likes that. He'll stay in the football game.
Result of the play is a first down.
And it's the correct call because he's leading with his breastplate as opposed to his helmet. So I would agree with that call as well. As you see right there, it's just such an impactful hit that you assume that it was targeted.
Sure, yeah. And good job by the replay booth to identify that and quickly make the determination. Referee Tom Stapleton. Right back to that fly sweep again. And this time, Luke Mayock is going to be ushered out of bounds. I got another flag flying as Mayock was running that fly sweep. Well, let's check that. Is it Mayock or Jared Murphy?
Oh, Murphy.
Yeah, it is Murphy, 88. So Murphy ran the jet sweep, and we got flags flying after contact on the white boundary here on this Ball State sideline.
Sportsmanlike conduct against the head coach of Ball State. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Mike New, I could tell you, is usually a very mild-mannered gentleman. He really is. Known him since his playing days here in Muncie. Let's see if we can pick this up somehow.
Well, he must say something to the official because I see nothing egregious on his part as far as being involved with the actual players.
Murphy got shoved out of bounds. Mike New shaking his head. He got hit with a 15-yard, in essence, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Ragland going back to work, and he's going to take a shot along that Miami sideline that is incomplete.
They might want to leave Josh Miller alone because he seems to be on fire, in my opinion, as far as the ball is not being completed on his side. He's done an excellent job of just, again, taking away those receivers on the outside, and that's tough man land out there. He's creating his own island.
Yep. 5'11", 185-pounder. There he was working. We told you James Gardner, 6'5". Luke Mayock, who was the intended receiver there, at 6'5". Sam Martin at 6'3". Some big ones here. Inside zone read, running the football. Leonard Ross. Ross churns out about 4 to the 46-yard line as we're inside 4 minutes left with a moving clock in this first half.
Yeah, what you see with Miller, what he's doing a great job of, Michael, is just getting inside those big receivers and creating a situation where they can't catch the ball with comfort because he's body to body with them.
And now Nate Becker, one of the tight ends, is lined up offset. We got 4 wide receivers here. On this 3rd down and 6 now. The line to make is at the 40 of Ball State. Blitz coming, tunnel screen again. Ball State diagnosed that and got it put on the ground well short of the first down as Murphy made the grab. Excellent work from the Ball State linebacking unit.
What you find encouraging about that play and this demeanor of this defense is that they're not quitting. They're out there down by 21 points, still running to to the football. As you see right here, this is how you swarm to the football. And when a receiver catches it, make him pay for doing just that. That's excellent team defense right there.
So punting the football now are the Miami Redhawks, hitting this from his own 45, and you see with that nose down Kyle Kramer to keep that football inside the 15-yard line. He was able to do that. It did angle out of bounds, and the walk-up will spot it at the 16-yard line. And that's where Ball State, with 2:23 left in this first half, will get another offensive series to work with. Hope you're enjoying this one tonight. Wintry conditions at the season finale. Along with my partner Gerard Cherry, our terrific crew, producer, led by Ryan Jordan and all of the gang in the truck, doing a very solid job. Milas, off that zone read play fake, is going to keep the football. He got rather rudely greeted as he got toppled at the 24-yard line, but that's a gain of 8. And now we've got a Miami Redhawk down.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
So we'll try to get an identification
Please set the
on
game
that.
clock to 2:07, please. 2:07.
And you certainly appreciate the effort on Miles' part to pick up those positive yards. But as a senior, he should know by now, slide.
Or you're going to
That's how you
take some hits.
Yes, you will. And that's one of the ways in which you have 5 different starters. You have to also protect yourself as the quarterback, because it's essential that you stay out there on that football field. And right there, he took a serious shot.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at Chuck Martin right there, and look, it's been a disappointing football season for the Miami Redhawks. They
certainly
won 6 of their last 7 a year ago, got into a St. Petersburg Bowl against Mississippi State, and they have had close loss after close loss after dramatic finish this year, and almost every one of them, unfortunately, Gerard, those 5 from the Miami perspective have gone against the Redhawks. In 3 of those, they had the lead. Inside 3 minutes left. A couple of those, they had the football with the lead inside 3 minutes left.
Right, and what that speaks of, again, is a very young, inexperienced football team not learning how to close out a team, and that's what you have to do. You have to pay close attention to detail, and you can't use youth as an excuse, but it certainly is in this case, in that you should not lose those footballs when you understand situational football, and that you have to protect certain situations, and they don't do that, hence the record. And a disappointment, as you said, because this team had aspirations of being bowl-bound again on consecutive seasons.
Yeah, no, you're right. The 2 that were excruciatingly painful were the
kickoffs, touchdowns.
The Victory Bell lost to Cincinnati, and then on October 7th, a loss to Bowling Green. Back to the ground game. Look at Caleb Huntley bouncing off tacklers. Huntley trying to beat Heath Harding before he's angled out of bounds. Caleb Huntley is having an impressive night, folks, running the football for Ball State.
And I love the way Caleb Huntley runs the football, because he runs with conviction and an attitude. Though down by 21 points, he has a no-quit, no-die attitude.
Now going quickly now. Milas again off that play fake will keep the football. Milas has got 9. So now Ball State looking to make some things happen, Gerard, as they pick up tempo.
Well, this is the one thing you need to learn. You're not going to bring Huntley down with arm tackling. You have to bring your whole entire body, as he is a runner who, again, has conviction when he's running.
That football was rejected and then picked off. Joshua Allen, see you later. Touchdown, Miami. Joshua Allen off the deflection of the Jack Milas throw.
And Joshua Allen has had a superb half. And that just an exclamation point to what he's been able to do on the outside as a corner tonight, as he's been shutting down the hall. But right there, he shows the ability to not only catch the football, but to run it back for a TD as well. And that's just great team defense. Your teammate bats the football. What do? You the Johnny on the spot, make a play, make it happen, and that's exactly what Joshua Allen did.
Gerard Milas looks like he was trying to throw that quick tunnel screen.
Yes.
And
he forced it in there.
Clear a linebacker.
He didn't.
49-yard pick six. Interception return for Joshua Allen. And adding that Miami PAT for the fourth time tonight, Samuel Sloman. That's tough. Jack Milas had a little momentum going, running the football. Huntley and himself, and then the deflection and the pick six changes that scoreboard again against Ball State.
And you feel for Ball State because it's a situation with them throughout the course of the season, but on full display today that when it rains, it pours. You're in the midst of a positive drive. Things are starting to click in the running game for you, and you do a basic routine screen, and that leads to a pick six because the defender batted it, and you had Joshua Allen aware to make the pick, and then presence of mind to take it to the house.
Yeah, Joshua Allen, this is one of the defensive backs that head coach Chuck Martin discussing with Gerard and I. That's his third interception on the year. He's a junior, actually one of the upper class leaders
so
in the young secondary, right? He's got another year, but Gerard, you love the size, 6 foot 210, loves to hit, certainly doesn't shy away from contact, and yet with the ball skills like that.
Right, and you've seen several pass breakups, and now to add an interception to that as well. He's definitely working towards getting that game ball on the defensive side, that's for sure.
So it bumps the lead to 28-0 Miami. And the Red Hawks, Chuck Martin made no bones about it. He said, listen, we want to take out some frustrations in this 12th game finale of the regular season. Malik Dunner is not going to come out a couple yards in.
And you know what they're going to find when they go back and review the tape, what could have been, because the graphic we showed earlier, when you lose in that manner of fashion, and those are games you don't lose. The odds of someone running back 2 kickoffs on you in 1 minute and 40 some odd seconds just doesn't happen. And the turnovers at the wrong place and time are just things where you just scratch your head and said, oh my gosh, it could have been such a better season for us, because the expectations were that they would compete in their division as a champion, and that did not obviously occur.
Yeah, we were talking about, for instance, the Victory Bell game. Big one always, Miami and their rivals, the Cincinnati Bearcats, you know, third game of the year, they're home. There's 3 minutes left. Miami's got the football, and they're up double digits. They're up 17-7 with the ball, and wind up losing 21-17. Pick six, fumble return, and, you know, voila, you know, instant win, drag from the jaws of
victory.
It turned into a quick loss, as that throw from Milas is hauled in by Riley Miller for 8. You know, second down and a couple. Milas again will trigger that quick out, and Miller's made his second straight grab, and that is good enough for a Ball State first down. And Mike New going to take a timeout now, as you see Miller a little bit ouchy.
Well, one of the things you learn that when it's a losing campaign, the ouchies are definitely more painful than a winning campaign. You see right here, you take what the defender's going to give you. As Harden plays off, playing off man, just do a quick turnaround and catch the football. Nothing difficult about that at all. Just smart football. Take what the defense is going to give you.
Riley Miller is one of the young receivers, just a sophomore, that have got a lot of playing time this year. Miller now with 30 catches on the year for over 300 yards. So he's one of the young, counted on, that Mike New is going to build this offense around. They'll get Riley Neal back next year to presumably quarterback this football team. Milas will step out of traffic. Junior McMullen tracked him down and put a hit on him. That's good enough for a first down. That's 11 yards on the carry. And that hit came, as we said, from, speaking of injuries, Junior McMullen, outstanding 250-pound junior linebacker out of Oak Park, Michigan, near Detroit. Milas again going to keep the football, and Brad Koenig seeking him out and taking Milas down in open space in that one-on-one tackle. Timeout again, Ball State.
And I like the idea that they're still being aggressive and not trying to get to the half. What do you have to lose but to try to see if you can get something positive, and then hopefully that'll carry some momentum into the second half.
And they'll get the football to start the third quarter.
As conventional wisdom might say, take a knee, get out of this half, and regroup. But no, see if you can get something positive going.
With 31 seconds left, Milas looking to put it up. Just wanted to come back on that horizontal throw near the sideline to Lake Dunner, and it fell incomplete. Big one going on in the MAC East tonight at Infocision Stadium. The Akron Zips, with a win tonight, they can clinch the MAC East Division crown. It's here on the ESPN family of networks, and they have a 24-7 lead in that wagon wheel rivalry against Kent State. Well, they win tonight, they wrap up the MAC East and the trip to Detroit's Ford Field. Milas's throw is hauled in, and making that grab right here on the sideline, making that good catch was Nolan Given. So Given is back on the football field. Good to see him. He left injured early.
Certainly. And again, take advantage of this playing time as a freshman. Opportunities to present himself, make it happen, and play through that pain. That bodes very well for you.
Yeah, it does. Final timeout with the clock moving. It's at 4 seconds left, and Mike New is going to football at the 43 of Miami. Take the final timeout. Probably take a shot to the end zone.
Sure.
Or want to, anyway.
Why not? And the thing, too, as a young football team, and both these teams are inexperienced to a large degree, but in any situations as a coach, what you're evaluating is, even though we're getting beat handedly right now, especially for Ball State, who's still going out there giving me the effort? Who can I say when times are tough, I can count on them to give me full-fledged effort? And you go into next year with those considerations, saying these guys are going to be with us through thick and thin. And that's what you want to establish, even in a losing campaign. Figuring out who are the true believers, and you don't want, obviously, the deceivers, but you want to play those guys who are out there still playing hard despite the horrible conditions that they're going through from a winning standpoint.
Well, with just 4 ticks left, I put 6 seconds on the clock. Look at this defensive setup now, as producer Ryan Jordan shows you. There are 4 Miami defenders at the goal line, and Milas is going to step up. Wind it up and unload. Incomplete on the final snap of the first half. Gerard Cherry, impressive for Miami with his 4-touchdown lead, huh?
Right, they did a great job of showing you what complementary football is. You have special teams doing this part, offense scoring when it's presented itself, and the defense doing a great job of keeping Ball State out of end zone and also forcing the issue with points off of turnovers.
Yeah, they've done that. That pick 6 from Joshua Allen, the punctuation mark in a 28-0 Miami halftime lead. Don't go away. We'll start our Capital One halftime report here on the Schumann Stadium when we come back.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
Our Capital One halftime report always providing the energy. Wintry setting here at Schumann Stadium tonight. Miami Redhawks making things hot from their perspective with a 28-0 lead over Ball State. Michael Rugged, Gerard Cherry, pleased that you're with us. You know, coaches have been in college football down through the years. Very colorful characters on the sideline, shall we say. Our coaches are relating to this type of college football youth. Tom Rinaldi with a fascinating piece to let us know more. Enjoy.
Coach Bronco Butterfield here, Western State Tigers 50s powerhouse. I know you know. I know the A gap, I know the B gap. A generation gap, and no game plan for that.
As we get older as coaches, the players are always the same. They're always 18 to 22 years old.
The greatest men ever to wear the whistle. Bo and Bear, Rockney and Woody. They coached your freaking They didn't care about connecting. Now you gotta be cool.
I try to relate to the young kids on my team by having a fidget spinner, wearing Jordans, and just listening to the people on my staff.
I'll try to educate them a little bit. I pulled out a James Brown clip, I think, from the Ed Sullivan Show one time, just to show them what real talent is.
Back in my day, before the game, you listen to the sweet sound of silence. Get focused now. They got the earmuff-sized headphones, the head bobbing, all the rhythm. What the hell are they listening to?
I'm sure that there's some good songs out there now. I just haven't had much of an opportunity to listen to them.
We actually had Migos come hang out with us, and Coach Harbaugh was wearing all of their jewelry, and he was kind of immersing himself in the hip-hop culture, and that was kind of cool to see.
This song came on the radio, and it was a song that I've only heard on Guitar Hero. And when he told me that was his jam, I was like, no.
Way back when, how did I communicate? Circles and squares, lines and an arrow. Now, these days, you need a glossary.
I'm not quite up to date on all their little lingo that they might use. Maybe if they are crunk, if that might be something that would, I wouldn't quite know exactly what that might mean.
He was saying, lit, fire. I was like, what? I was like, look at Coach O saying that's lit. So he really sounded like he's younger than us.
You think us coaches aren't down with the lingo? Lit.
That means it's good.
Turned.
That means we're excited and it's turned up. They like that.
Woke.
I'm assuming just woke up, but I'm probably wrong.
Let me just rest my eyes for a minute. Okay, all right. Billy Sims, Earl Campbell, Doc Blanchard, Jay Burwanger, those were names. Now, Baker Mayfield sounds like an accounting firm. Whether you coached in the time of Elvis or you play in the time of Migos or My Ghost or whatever the f***ing ghost, the same thing's always true. Coaching is caring.
As long as they know you care about them and that you love them, it's not hard to relate to them.
It doesn't matter if you're 30 years old or 60 years old. I think if you get to know them truly as people, even more than football players, then I think you can have that ability and be able to relate to guys.
From my generation to this generation, that's what I believe. Play ball. You don't like it? You can fax me or tweet me, troll me. Use some anonymous social platform.
I did what you said, Doc. Changed everything.
You switched to the Capital One Quicksilver card. And how do you feel?
Like a burden's been lifted.
Those other cards made you sign up for bonus cash back. Then they changed categories on you every few months. Then you had to keep signing up. You deserve better. Now get out there and keep earning that 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not a doctor.
What?
Time to go. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
Halftime here at Schumann Stadium on the campus of Ball State University. Season finale, Miami and Ball State. Let's take a look at who may have an impact on your Capital One fan vote.
I don't see anybody in the SEC that could beat Alabama.
Harris having to bounce it. He'll be able to fight through tackles and score.
Not have to worry about the name, not have to worry about anything else.
Alabama physically is going to be a mismatch for just about everybody.
Cuts pressure. Harris straight ahead. First down and more. And Peter. Alabama just tied the game at 24.
I told them I was driving the bus, and the bus was pulling off. And they was going to either get on or get off. And they got on, and we got it done tonight.
Hurts over the middle. It's caught inside the 10-yard line. Broken tackle. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Bama.
Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to go to ESPN.com or the Sports Center Facebook page on Tuesday to give your Capital One vote. All right, don't move when we come back. A lot of scenarios could still play out in the final couple of days of the MAC regular season. Gerard and I will delve into that when we return.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
As our Capital One Halftime Report rolls on from winterish here, the couple of days before Thanksgiving, Schumann Stadium in Muncie, Indiana, 28-0. Miami's Redhawks on top of Ball State. Michael Regai, Gerard Cherry, all of our crew. All right, some big ones going on in the Mid-American Conference tonight, especially on the right side of your screen. The Akron Zips, Gerard, with a couple of touchdown plus lead over Kent State. An Akron win tonight will clinch the MAC East Division crown. and a date with the West winner at Ford Field in Detroit. You see Eastern Michigan on top of Bowling Green by 3. So, Gerard, here's our scenarios tonight, as I just explained. So, an Akron win tonight, and you and I will call Ohio at Buffalo on Friday. But Akron wins tonight, they're in. They wrap up the East Division.
Yes, they win the East Division. If you're Ohio, you still have something to play for because you want bowl considerations, because you do have a record that merits the idea of you still playing in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Toledo with a win. They're looking for a 10-win regular season. And the Rockets have Western Michigan in their finale. Big one also, Central Michigan hosting Northern Illinois. 28-0. Miami, second half, getting closer.
Larry, you got to get those burgers off the grill.
Doug Flutie? Who threw the Hail Larry?
You mean a Hail Mary?
Tomato, potato, man.
Those are two different words.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Hip. Let's go.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's campus moment, brought to you by Dr. Pepper, the Ball State Cardinal walk, huh? Gerard getting off the buses, you go through the fans, and head coach Mike New led him an opportunity one last time here to be greeted by your fans heading into the stadium.
And that's one of those memories that you take with you for the rest of your life. This year, for some of these guys, the last time that they'll ever put on the pads and have opportunity to play football. So you will remember this, and it's such a momentous occasion as you see Wimbush right there walking, and you take it all in, because though for Wimbush he'll have opportunity to play on the next level, it's something that you'll never forget.
Yeah, you saw, you said Kevin Willis, and of course Anthony Wimbush, Reggie McGee, fifth-year senior out of Baltimore. So special time for the Ball State Cardinals here on senior night. So Anthony Wimbush still that one sack away from setting the all-time career sack record here. He'd break the record of his defensive line coach, Keith McKenzie, who was an all-MAC performer 3 times here at Ball State. All right, Ball State to get football here to start the second half, and Malik Dunner is going to watch it sail out of the end zone. All right, let's take a look at what transpired in the first half of football, Gerard. And this is about Gus Ragland heating up for 3 TD passes.
Certainly was, as Gus connects on the slant route, and then he does the same thing, but to the opposite side of the football field, as he finds his receivers who find a way to get inside of the DBs. And then you had the fade stop to his main man, Gardner. But another issue for Ball State was the miscues, and that led to points. And what you have right here is a situation where you have to have control of that football, and then you have the whiff. That will be on the blooper reel, unfortunately, for the young man, Hagee. And then right here, Ragland has a situation where the ball's tipped in the air. And the rest is history, because Allen takes it to the house.
Yeah, this first play for Ball State, busting out big in quarter number 3. And that, of course, is Caleb Huntley again. Huntley has had a terrific run game tonight. He's got 21 more yards there. So Huntley now with 10 carries for 85 yards.
And that's a freshman, Michael, not a weathered junior or senior, but a freshman with that type of heart, that type of effort, just going out there and making things happen despite the score.
Yeah, stay with Huntley there. This time middle linebacker Junior McMullen, who wears number 5, took him down. And these active linebackers, along with strong safety Tony Reed. Gerard, numbers dominated by Miami in the first 30 minutes.
Right, and the main thing that you look at is 202 yards to 131, and most of those 131 yards is due to Huntley's effort, as well as Miles' ability to scramble as well. But you want to get more production, obviously, in the scoring column.
Second and 10. Miles will keep the football out of that zone read, and again Miami sealing that edge and closing that down, is coming up to make that big stop for the Red Hawks. Brad Ernest, there's Ernest, wears number 9, 250-pounder out of Atlanta.
You may question Miles' decision making, but you won't question the young man's toughness, because again, he let his head in there like he's a running back, and I'm waiting for one time just to say that he slid to protect himself.
Just underway here in the third. Michael Regai, Gerard Cherry, great to have you with us. Got a false start. It is going to be called, and that is going to go on the very best, toughest guy in this football team, according to Mike New, Vinny Palazzetti, the 300-pound fifth-year senior out of Powers Catholic High School in Owasso, Michigan. Heart and soul of the Ball State Cardinals. Played every position along the O-line during his career here as a Ball State Cardinal.
And Penny's argument is, well, he jumped and I reacted.
Yep.
Offside. Defense number 5. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I don't know if Vinny's in pre-law, but he might have a future there as he got Junior McMullen to encroach. Third and 5 now. The line to make at the 44 Miami for Jack Milas. Blitz coming, tried to throw that quick horizontal route, and it was incomplete. Khalil Newton, the intended receiver. And Ball State's going to have to punt the football away. There's Vinny Palizzetti. How about the career here at Ball State for Vinny Palizzetti, Gerard? As we said, just as decorated as you could be for an O-lineman.
Exactly, team captain. And one of the things that really tells you what type of person he is that he was on the watch list for the Danny Werfel Trophy Award, and being a teammate of Danny Werfel's in the pro game, that speaks of character in his own right. And for him to be named that speaks, again, highly of what type of young man Vinny is.
Excellent drag on this punt that'll finally come to a halt at the 5-yard line. That's a 44-yard boot into the swirling breeze. Yes, able to get that out of there was Nathan Snyder. So this Miami offense tonight has been paced. There's 10 receptions, touchdown each for those 3, Jay.
Right, and that's what you call spreading the wealth. To Ragland's credit, he has found various receivers, and those guys are produced for him tonight. So you have to be encouraged with what you've seen, if you Coach Martin, from your receivers, in that they have found a way to come down with the football and to catch it in very inclimatic situations.
They've been real good tonight. James Gardner, Jared Murphy, Luke Mayock, Sam Martin, they've all been very, very good. Jalen Bester as well. And run the football now on this first down call. And look at the toughness in the run game as continuing to pound. Jalen Bester, he has been incredible in what he's done in a variety of roles tonight.
Yes, he has. That wrinkle has become a very productive unit, and that's something they'll strongly consider next season as just something to add to their offense, because Bester has been very productive. Had a long run. You see 5 rushes for 51 yards, averaging 10.2 carry. You'll take that all day, every day. So he's definitely done a lot to help himself next year for as a guy who they'll look to call plays for.
And if you're just joining us, Miami tonight without their 2 top running backs, Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith. Ragland again off play action. And that throw is going to sail out of bounds and incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Bester, who was off that jet sweep action and ran that wheel route. How good a night has it been for Gus Ragland, partner? Pretty special, huh?
Yes, it has. 12 for 20, 123 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the key part right there, 0 INTs. And Lord knows he had a couple situations where it should be 2 INTs.
Very true. Very true. All right, this is 3rd down and 1. Back to the ground game. Oh, look at the tough running of that running back, 205-pounder Leonard Ross. He got 5, and it was Ross who delivered the blow and powered his way to a 1st down.
And this is what you call running downhill, as Ross goes through the hole, and he's saying, you're not going to stop me, I'm going to keep on moving. And that's what you do. You put your shoulder down and make the defender pay for trying to tackle you.
Yeah, Brett Anderson. There you see Anderson. He's a true freshman out of Grand Blanc High School in Grand Blanc, Michigan, nearby Flint. Anderson, so many freshmen, redshirt freshmen, dotting this defense for Mike New. Continue with the ground game as 28-0, and with the conditions the way they are, would you imagine, Gerard, that another carry for Leonard Ross, that maybe that man Chuck Martin is going to say, you know what, let's get our ground game generated, and maybe 3-4 first downs of possession, work on this clock, and take our shots when they're there in the pass game.
Yeah, I can certainly see that scenario unfolding. But at this time, too, you have a chance to work on your offense. Why not do that? Because you're not going to get a better look than this until, next spring?
Yeah, now you're right. Although both these coaches said tomorrow, Wednesday, these teams will go back to work. Now Ragland's going to put it up, and it was broken up beautifully. It was intended for wide receiver Luke Mayock, and once again, in on that play was Brett Anderson on the pass breakup for Ball State.
As you see, Phillips, the last second, turns his head around and makes a play on the football. Another PBU.
Yeah.
Though they've had their struggles, more so with defending the inside, these corners have made some plays tonight. Ball State.
They have. Antonio Phillips, as we said, Bryce Cosby, Lorenzo Holmes. We haven't had seen much of Holmes tonight. Brett Anderson. They're all true freshmen, getting a lot of playing time. Ragland 4 of 7 on third down pickups. Ragland is going to flush and then find Jared Murphy. He delivered that strike as Murphy will work his way for a Miami first down.
And I'm pretty sure, though Anthony's not going to make it about himself, he hopes that Coach Martin does not employ the run and gives him an opportunity to break that record. But you see right here, Gus moving in the pocket, showing composure, hits his receiver, more positive yards, first down.
Yeah, as Jared Murphy's having quite a night. 7 catches for 83 yards for this talented fifth-year senior playing his last game in a Miami uniform. Now run that toss again with Bester. And this time the 160-pounder got dragged down as in on that Ball State hit. As we said, was Antonio Phillips off that corner.
Man, Bester's running fearless, and that's so impressive because normally guys with that diminutive size rather, do not want to put their body in harm's way, but he has no problems and no issues running in tight spots.
Done a very solid job tonight as you look at it from the end zone behind Gus Ragland. Zone read, popping it out of there. Leonard Ross. Ross going to take the football near the midfield stripe, a little bit shy of it. Going to bring up third down, and we'll call it 2.
And now you're starting to witness the effects of what takes place when defense has been on the football field for the majority of the time, and that the Redhawks are starting to have their way and the ability to just dominate and have their will and push around the front 7 for the Ball State Cardinals.
Ball State showing 8 in that line of scrimmage on 3rd and 2, and the Cardinals are going to rise up and knock this down. And not only 8 near the line of scrimmage, but a couple of them were DBs. Brett Anderson coming up helping to make that hit along with Antonio Phillips.
And that's so encouraging because you're down by 28 points, but you still see enthusiasm out there. You still see guys trying to get penetration and prevent a situation where the first down is an easy pickup. That's what you can build upon. Though you're down, those type of players who have that attitude and that will and that desire, you can build on it.
Sure. Both head coaches, Gerard and I talked to both Mike New and Chuck Martin, and exactly what they're building on things. And we'll start 2018 Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, with their football teams. Now, Kyle Kramer, the redshirt sophomore punter, is going to knock that out of there and down to the 13-yard line. A fair caught after that 37-yard punt by Riley Miller. 28-0 Miami. Ball State football when we get back. Michael Reggie, Gerard Cherry, our producer and director, doing a terrific job tonight, and all the crew as well. ESPN crew handling things beautifully. Ryan Jordan, our producer, Peter Loomis, our director, and all the gang. Will Rolison helping us with stats tonight, doing a terrific job up here as well. And outside the back door with another big rumble. Caleb Hundley. Hundley has been terrific tonight, Gerard.
He certainly has. And what you just have to point out is just his ability to not let the initial defender bring him down. And when he gets into that secondary and the third level, he's just so explosive. You have to be impressed with his running style, Michael, because for a guy who's run as much as he's run, to be a true freshman and have the composure that he has, I'm so excited to see what he does in the future.
He's over the 100-yard tonight, and give Caleb Hundley now 5 more on that carry, so 13 carries for 112 yards as the Miami stop made by Mac Duffin. Nothing out of the state of Indiana. So Hundley, and again, if you just joined us, James Gilbert was lost just a couple of games into this 2018 2017 season. 9th in program history for Gilbert, and Caleb Huntley has really stepped up to fill the breach, and look at him power his way to another first down, dragging Miami Redhawk tacklers with him across that 45-yard line.
Right, and to his credit, Huntley's created a situation for next season where Coach New's going to have a good problem, and that is, how do you get the ball into his hand as well? As you see the numbers right here, 14 rushes for 117 yards, no touchdowns yet, but if he keeps this up, I'm pretty sure he'll have it. 1 or 2 TDs. But how do you get the ball in his hand as well as Gilbert's?
Averaging 8.4 per carry. Ran the football well last week against Buffalo. Huntley again with yet another carry. This time Miami said, you know what, that's a win for us, as Caleb Huntley gets knocked down after just a 2-yard gain. Akeem Allen on the stop. It's front seven. We're very impressed with the front seven of Miami's defense. As we said, Doug Costin and Pasquale Calcagno, the DNs, Akeem Allen and Nate Trawick, and linebacking trio, Junior McMullen in the middle with DeAndre Montgomery and Brad Koenig. They're the vets, and then you got that young secondary, Gerard. Now running the football for just one of the few times tonight is Marquise. Or let's check that, Malik Dunner. Malik Dunner on that carry. It's been mostly Huntley tonight, but Dunner there. And Dunner got a couple. He's a 200-pound sophomore, but he's done a very nice job this year, Gerard. He's near 400 yards and 7 touchdowns on the year.
Yes, he's done a good job as well of making things happen on the offensive end. As I said before, things may look bad right now from a record standpoint, but with all these young players playing for Ball State, if they can just keep intact and continue to work hard, it's going to turn for them.
This is 3rd down and 6 for the 5th-year senior QB, Jack Milas. Well, let's check that now. Drew Plitt is on at the quarterback spot, and Plitt's going to keep the football. So Plitt, the redshirt freshman out of Loveland, Ohio, in southwest Ohio. Plitt, as we said, he got the start against Eastern Michigan, and that was in game number 9 on the year at Eastern Michigan, a 56-14 loss, Gerard, but he got the start and got injured in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that creates an interesting dilemma for Coach, because on one hand, you want Plitt to get some experience because he's going to be in competition for the starting job next year, but as a senior, what do you do with Milas? Because this is his last opportunity to play.
And right now, Mike New's going to get a timeout. This is a 4th down, and 4th down, and we'll call it 2. This 30-second timeout, and this time
this will be a full media timeout.
Now we will take a break, so come on back on the other side. 4th down and 2. Ball State got to keep the offense on the field. All right, as we mentioned, he got one start. Did Drew Plitt. He's a redshirt freshman, 225-pounder. Plitt, take a look at his numbers on the year. He's came in and mopped up a couple of times, but you know, 3-2 touchdown interception ratio. Getting his first opportunity to play. Ball State 0-2 on 4th down opportunities. Guess who? Caleb Huntley. It'll depend on the spot. And Huntley got there. Looks like they're going to move those sticks. First down. Huntley has 15th carry of the night, I believe, this evening for Caleb Huntley, and he'll move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, that's what you call go to the go-to. The guy who's getting the job done. Start off slow, but as the game has continued, he has picked up the pace. He's done an exceptional job of moving the chains tonight. And they know that he's going to get the football, and he's still getting positive yards.
Huntley again. This time he got corralled and taken down. Is making that stop for Miami was Cam Turner, the outside linebacker.
And just to give you some ideas of just how strong the young man is, you have a situation right there where he is literally carrying a defensive end on his back as he's going down the football field. This is a freshman we're talking about.
Yeah. Now Mike New spoke glowingly about Caleb Huntley after losing James Gilbert. Huntley again. That would have broke out real big, but Brad Koenig made that secure stop, that terrific tackling linebacker.
Yeah, and he was a nice combination of just a quick burst hitting the hole. He's just north to south running. First defender is not going to bring him down. You have to tackle him with all your might and muscle. And what you like about him is his vision too, and that he's a runner who has the ability to elude you, but yet he can also bring the pain as well. Love his style of running.
Yeah, look at him employing that old-time stiff arm there, right, on Darius Thompson. 163 yards tonight, top 10 in the MAC. Plitt threw the football too tall for Huntley, who had settled down at the 35-yard line. That's going to bring up now 4th down again.
And that's one thing he can add to his repertoire, his ability to catch out of the backfield. Because if he gets that down, you're looking at the next Kareem Hunt.
Oh, okay. Glowing terms from my partner.
Think about it. Kareem was effective as a freshman as well.
Oh, yeah, very much so. He had one of the most dazzling careers as a running back in the Mid-American Conference. Huntley. Did he get there? Did that last surge get him there? It doesn't look like it from where the line judge and the side judge came in to spot it. Miami has gotten a 4th down stop, and Ball State will turn it over on downs.
Or should I stick with Ball State? Who can we call to say he could be the next great Ball State running back?
There you go. All right, 28-0 Miami when we get back. Mike New in this season finale trying to avoid having a winless MAC season. And this young man here, the junior quarterback Gus Ragland of Miami, has made it difficult. He was spectacular in a 21-20 Miami win over Ball State last year. So there's the numbers tonight. Gerard, in those last 2 games, 6 TDs, no picks against Ball State.
We pretty much matched those numbers from last game of last season in the first half. And looking to put more points on the board.
All right, let's see about the run game here. Is Leonard Ross, who's the Miami running back, lined up offset. And this is Ross on the zone read, and he's got the edge outside those numbers. He took a pretty good lick there, but not before. He got 8 on that 1st down zone read carry.
Leonard shows you his speed to beat the defender to the outside, cause a pause and stop, and then you get going. So Anthony Wimbush, yes, I have Jets as well.
12 carries, 39 yards for Leonard Ross.
And he's picked up the pace as the game has gone along as well.
Yeah, David Ruth on that stop, the freshman. Mike linebacker now. They'll set up that screen. Ball State got there as that football came loose, but that play had ended before the football came out. So the screen complete to Jalen Bester, and that'll move to chains for a Miami 1st down. Bester's had quite a night.
Yes, he has. He's been all over the football field, making things happen every time he touches the football. And that's another encouraging sign that you have one of your young players making plays.
A 2 tight end look there, and Ross again will probe that middle, trying to follow the block of center Mitch Palmer and that left guard Sam McCullum. McCullum wears number 66, 300-pound junior out of Dublin, Ohio, Kaufman High School. And there's a good look at Sam McCullum. He's a bellwether of this offensive line. He's been their best this year. Now Ragland off play action. Going to unload deep. And too tall as he was looking for his wide receiver Luke Mayock. And again in coverage, Josh Miller. Miller has been terrific tonight. We do have a flag, though, at about the 38-yard line. And Ball State with an injured defender down. Going to get a look at that number. I don't want to speculate. That might be Antonio Phillips.
There's no foul on the play. The call was holding. The pass was uncatchable. 3rd down.
So the athletic training staff. So it is out of that secondary, Bryce Cosby.
Timeout for an injured player.
Who wears number 17, the true freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky. Let's take a look at this. Cosby, their top DB on the year with the 2 picks.
That's just a situation where a turf monster got him in footing, caused him to fall and collapse and buckle. You hate to see that take place. But sometimes weird things like that can happen where it's just simply poor foot placement, and you fall and you buckle like that. Awkward way to land. Oh, that's...
Yeah, and this cold night, we started this one for the better part of the first half. Snow swirling around. It has dissipated now and really stopped right around halftime.
Yeah, and from all things, it looked like he may have seriously injured himself because the way he landed, Michael, did not look good by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, non-contact injury.
Yeah, those are the worst ones.
Yep.
At least you like to say I hurt myself making a play, but in this case, it was just simply walking.
All right, let's step aside for 60 seconds, and we'll be back to Schumann Stadium in Muncie, Indiana. Back at Schumann Stadium, the concern for freshman cornerback Bryce Cosby, who has had a very, very fine first season here for the Ball State Cardinals, and non-contact injury, got placed on the cart with the assistance from staff and teammates. So we'll see if we get word on the condition of Bryce Cosby. But Gerard, you saw that right away and said, you know, non-contact like that does not look good.
No, I wouldn't. And when you, from what I saw, just unbuckling of the knees, and when you get taken out on that cart, that doesn't speak well of a speedy recovery by any stretch of imagination. But you hope again that the young man recovers quickly because he had a phenomenal year despite the record. He had a really impactful season.
He really did. This is 3rd and 6. Ragland's going to set up screen and want to go the same play that they ran a few moments ago. He missed Jalen Bester here in Miami. Will punt the football away late 3rd quarter here with his 28-0 lead. 3 touchdown throws tonight for that man, junior quarterback Gus Ragland. And then, of course, in the 2nd quarter, the defensive putting points on the board for the Miami Redhawks off that deflected pass, the 49-yard pick 6 returned to the house by Joshua Allen.
Yeah, one of the things you tell your team at halftime when you're down by so many points is go out and play a better second half. And to their credit, the defense has not allowed any points for Ball State so far, and the offense has a chance to make something happen, especially if they can put the ball in the hands of Huntley.
Yeah, Ball State's Riley Miller fielded that punt as it took the 1 hop. 38-yard punt with no return. And this is where Ball State will begin at the 13-yard line. And we'll check it for the Cardinals. It's going to continue to be the backup quarterback for Mike New. As, of course, the 5th-year senior Jack Milas started this one, and now Drew Plitt has taken over. The main offensive weapon, though, has been running back the true freshman Caleb Huntley, and this is Huntley on the carry. And Huntley will power his way to the 20-yard line as he got 7 on that first down carry. So Huntley with 64 yards in the first half, 74 yards in the second half, 128 on the night for his good-looking running back Caleb Huntley. Second down and 3. Again, Huntley. Second level and more, and he's got a first down to the 26-yard line as this young man has, he said, all right, saddle me up, everybody, ride me, right, Gerard?
Exactly, and he has no problems with it. And we've seen on multiple occasions tonight him getting the ball 2 and 3 times through the course of a drive. And as you see for tonight, 21 rushes for 144 yards with a 6.9 average. You'll take that all day, every day, that type of production. Just need to get more of his teammates on that same level, and this offense will start putting some points on the board.
Yeah, think of what the future holds. Huntley again, his third straight carry. He did get dragged down from the backside there as, well, this Miami defense trying to make him a marked man as Ben Kempler, the defensive end, made that stop. And that's going to do it for quarter number 3. All right, we are with 15 minutes of football left. Don't go away. Miami will try to close out a 28-0 lead. Big week of college football all along the ESPN family of networks. There you see it. 14 first quarter points. Ditto that in the second quarter. There's your Miami Redhawks 28-0. Lead heading into the fourth quarter with Gerard Cherry and all the crew. I'm Michael Regai. And Drew Plitt remains at quarterback with the bellwether Caleb Huntley tonight as Huntley continues to run the football hard. And Huntley has been a guy who has, he's got the second level a lot, Gerard. You were saying that he's averaging over 6 in carry. He's been close a couple times to breaking one real big.
And what's really impressive about his effort is that as a defender, you know he's getting the football, and yet he's still finding a way to pick up positive yards. So give credit to the offensive line, obviously, but also give much credit to the fact that he's just running hard and making things happen with his legs.
Plitt will trigger that out. That get hauled in. How about the grab? As able to make that catch was Khalil Newton. Newton, 177-pound freshman out of Georgia, made a terrific catch for 17 yards in traffic.
Yeah, another one of the Georgia recruits making things happen. And he caught that in traffic, knowing that he was going to get hit in the process.
Tony Reed, the senior hard-hitting safety, put a wallop on Newton, but Khalil hung on to the football. Plitt, protection broke down, but Drew Plitt will step up. Drew Plitt got 8 yards before he got taken to the turf at the 44-yard line. So Plitt able to step up in the pocket and do some business with his legs.
Yeah, I like the fact there was no hesitation in his decision making. He saw what he saw and he went with it and made positive things happen. You always worry about that when you're dealing with inexperience, but right there he showed.
And one of 4 quarterbacks who's been pressed into service as starters this year for Mike New. Back to the zone read ground game. Caleb Huntley's got a first down as he twists his way. And again, yards after contact, pretty special for this big freshman from Atlanta.
Yak. Did the metrics on that for him. You will be impressed because no first defender or initial contact is bringing him down.
But look at the thighs on him, Gerard. I mean,
and that's a freshman. That's the part that I marvel at. That's a freshman. So what was he like in high school?
Yeah, compact, 225-pounder. Huntley again. There's your yards after contact. I'd say 4 more there after he took that first hit. Huntley got 6. We'll call it 2nd and 4.
I imagine he's squatting easily 600 pounds.
You would think so. Sure.
He's dragging guys that weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're gonna get a respite here, and should get a lot of glad hands from his teammates on that Ball State bench. 25 totes, 159 yards for Caleb Huntley. This is Malik Dunner now. Dunner on the carry, maybe got 1. As in the middle, Akeem Allen. Allen wears number 55. He is a rocket Gibraltar defensive tackle in that against the run game.
And what Dunner needs to do is employ the same tactic as Huntley does, and that's just hit it straight up ahead. And don't dance around with it. Just go forward.
Yeah, Mac Duffin right now wears number 94. Duffin, 290-pound redshirt junior. He's next to Akeem Allen at a D tackle spot. That short throw is incomplete and going to bring up 4th down as Plitt not able to connect with Khalil Newton. Well, let's check that. That throw was intended for Riley Miller. 4th down, And this was a long 4, really a little bit closer to 5. It's 5th time tonight Ball State is going for it on 4th down. 1 of 4. Plitt in trouble. Good move, and he got there to the 29-yard line. He's gained the line to make. Plitt put on a pretty sweet move to
yes,
keep
he
that
did.
play alive.
He showed some Michael Vick ability right there. Russell Wilson as well. Watch this move right here. Boom. Build to stay alive and then dive forward to pick up positive yards.
And that was Heath Hardy.
Yeah.
That he left grasping for air.
And that's not an easy win.
No, it's not. We come to the 11-minute mark here as Ball State tries to get on the board tonight. This is Malik Dunner. Dunner has come free. He'll head to the house. Touchdown, Malik Dunner, Ball State.
And that is a pretty run on the part of Malik Dunner because you saw vision. You saw nice blocking on the part of his offensive line. But watch the cut that he makes at the tail end of this run. Burst through the hole. Next thing you know, then take it to another gear and then put the Jets on. Nice run on the part of Malik Dunner.
28-yard trip to the end zone for Dunner. So Caleb Huntley, boy, has done all the heavy lifting tonight, but he needed a blow, right?
Yes, he did.
He needed a blow, and it's Dunner to come on and get into the end zone. Is adding this PAT for the Ball State Cardinals. Morgan Hagee. There he is, touchdown maker Malik Dunner, 28-7 Miami.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
Yeah, what's better than that? New Year's Six, College Football Playoff, semifinals, championship game. And, of course, there are 4 primary bowl games affiliated with the Mid-American Conference. Could be as many as 6, quite honestly. Of course, in Montgomery, Alabama, Nassau, the Bahamas, a couple days before Christmas, and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and Dollar General Bowl out of Mobile. I mean, you're going to have the Toledo Rockets and Northern Illinois and Central Michigan, maybe Western Michigan in bowl games, the Ohio Bobcats, the Akron Zips in the East, maybe even the Buffalo Bulls. Gerard, there could be 6-7 MAC squads in bowl action. As Jared Murphy got rocked before he could get to the 20-yard line on that Ball State kick cover knockdown of Murphy.
You know, Cody Rudy might make a switch from fullback to linebacker. Keeps tackling like that.
That's right, yeah. Love those guys who want to run into something on special
That was a heck of a
teams,
tackle.
right? Yeah. Go hit somebody for me, son. Now, this Miami offense, after taking the 28-0 lead, they've been vanilla. Gerard, the
yes, they
second
have.
half, only 58 yards in half number.
They have taken their foot off the pedal.
2. Yeah. So Gus Ragland, this quarterback for head coach Chuck Martin, and Miami will stay on the ground as they got a 3-touchdown lead. We're inside 11 minutes left, and they're going to work on the clock. Without their top 2 running backs tonight, as we've told you numerous times. Jalen Bester on that carry, but no Kenny Young tonight. He's got 800 yards on the year. No Alonzo Smith, 660 yards for him. So 2 of them combined for over 1,400 yards in the first 11 football games. Both banged up, not able to go tonight. Jalen Bester and Leonard Ross have filled the bill.
All right, they've still, without that talent on the football field, been able to amass a lot of yardage and points in the process.
Out of the pistol again, keep it on the ground. Not much operating room there, though, as Jalen Bester got thrown back. But Bester has had a very busy night.
Yeah, this started from the beginning of the game, as you see right here on the jet sweep. Bester gets to the outside, then he puts the jet zone, and you see this over and over again. If you do not set the edge and give him the ability to get outside, he's going to hurt you. And then you see his ability as a small guy to run up in the middle and keep those legs moving to pick up more positive yards. And even got involved in the passing game as well. As you see on the night, 8 rushes for 69 yards with that 8.4 average. Again, you'll take that all day, every day.
Absolutely. On 3rd down and 4, Ragland off the play fake. Going to check down, and that throw's incomplete as Ragland was trying to check it down out of the backfield to Nate Becker, and off Becker's hands, going to bring up 4th down.
That's one of those situations where you're not quite sure if Becker really wanted to catch this football because he realized he was going to get hit.
Yeah, Nate Becker 3 catches on the year, but
that could have been 4, Nate.
Hit
that
his
could have been 4.
So now booming the football away is Kyle Kramer, and of course into this swirling breeze tonight. Kramer didn't get as much on that as he wanted, and Miami's 3 and out. Ball State's going to get the football back again.
Man, that's what you ask of your defense, because they've been averaging giving up 41 points, so if they can walk out of this game not giving up that many points, that's a win, though obviously there's no moral victories, but it's a step in the right direction. You want to show at least improvement even if you're struggling as a football team.
Yeah, Mike New told Gerard and I he's very proud of his guys that have stayed the course. There's no finger pointing, no bickering going on in the locker room. And he said there are no excuses, no woe is me, none of any of that. And they, again, not tolerated in the program. As Ball State with the football again, and Malik Dunner will get that 1st down carry off that zone read look again. Just 1 this time.
Right, and unfortunately, Michael, we probably won't see the services of Huntley any longer because of he's on the sideline looking like he's nursing an ankle injury.
What a night it has been for the freshman running back. So you got that that stacked look in the trips wide receiver situation. We're going to run the football with Dunner. And Dunner got rodeoed down from the backside. As in on that stop for Miami, Pasquale Calcagno. There's Calcagno, and he's a junior out of the state of Illinois. Approaching 8-minute mark here. So after Jack Milas went the first just about 3 quarters, the 5th-year senior, the redshirt freshman Drew Plitt led Ball State on that touchdown drive the last time they had it. 3rd and 7 for Plitt. Crossing route. Delivering a strike. That's a 1st down on that shallow cross. As Plitt was able to go to work with Justin Hall, who has been quiet since the 1st quarter.
Yes. And right here you have Justin on a crossing route, and he and Plitt are able to connect, and he has been quiet. I was expecting him to call and talk about his ability to make plays throughout the course of the game, but he's been quiet, and give credit to Harding as well as the rest of the secondary for doing their job to keep him quiet tonight.
Yeah, Kobe Burst dragged him down there after that shallow cross, and Dominic Calcagno again is right there to stand up Malik Dunner. And there is the young man who did yeoman's work for Ball State tonight, Gerard Cherry.
Yeah, 25 rushes, 159 yards, and had he not got an injury, chances are he would have maybe flirted with the idea of going over 200 yards, at least approaching it. But the future's bright for him, and you don't want to take any chances.
But Gerard, that 159 puts him over the 1,000-yard mark for his freshman season here at Ball State. Now Plitt's going to load it up, and he's had to work that 9 route to Nolan Given. And Given was in, he's got a bracketed, Gerard. He was in double coverage.
He certainly was in double coverage. But what you like those ideas, you have a tight end that can get down the football field like that on vertical routes and make an attempt for a play. Another one of the young players on this football team who has a bright future ahead of him as well.
Yep. He came into this program a year ago, as we told you the story in the first half, as a 200-pound wide receiver, now a 250-pound tight end, H-back. Plitt still looking to put the football up, and now I got dragged down from the backside. But Dominic Calcagno has been all over the place for Pasquale Calcagno has been all over the place for Miami, as he's made 4 tackles on this possession of the football for Ball State.
Yeah, you like how Plitt does a good job of staying alive, though, and trying to give his receivers a chance to uncover. And what these receivers will learn to do as time goes on is when you're in a situation like that and they're scrambling around, break free. Don't sit up there and observe either and wait to see if he's going to run, but actually try to get yourself involved in the passing play.
All right, with that play clock now at 8, Ball State head coach Mike New looking to get this timeout. Joey Lynch, his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Joey Lynch, of course, played his dad, Bill Lynch, here at Ball State. Very outstanding quarterback in his own right. All right, let's take a look as we get into the fourth quarter in a couple of other venues tonight. What else is going on around the MAC? And the big one on the right side of your screen, there it is, 24-14 Akron. They are at about the 10-minute mark left in the fourth quarter at Infocision Stadium. And again, Gerard, an Akron win tonight. Well, not only wins that classic wagon wheel in their rivalry, but will send them, meaning them, the Akron Zips, Terry Bowden, to the East Division Championship and the MAC Championship game at Ford Field in Detroit.
Yeah, that is a program rejuvenator right there, because things didn't start out so bright for the Zips, but that's what happens when you stay the course and you get better in the conference. You have opportunity to make things happen, and that's exactly what they've done so far, controlling their own destiny.
Yeah, no chance there. That 46-yard field goal attempt from Morgan Hagee, as you see, fell into the end zone wide left underneath the crossbar, and it'll be Miami's football when we get back after a field goal attempt not successful for Ball State. Those are hardy football souls, folks, here in the Midwest. Love it. Get your blankets out, put your colors on, and come on and check out on this winterish couple of nights before Thanksgiving. Miami and Ball State. And my partner Gerard Cherry, our producer Ryan Jordan, all of our terrific crew, and Michael Regai, and Gus Ragland's going back to work. Ground game starting out for the Miami Redhawks is with that opportunity on the first down carry is Miami is get Grant Nimick a carry now. Where's number 37? And Nimick normally lines up as a tight end or H-back. Fifth-year senior out of, there he is, out of Orchard Lake St. Mary. Real good program in the Detroit area. Nimick again with his second consecutive carry. The final game of the regular season, Gerard, and we're under any frustrations the boys have are probably going to let them out now.
Yeah. And for some of these guys, they realize the totality of the moment. For these seniors out there, that this is it. I won't put the helmet on. I won't lace the cleats up. I won't slide the pants on. No more double days. Just. And you don't really appreciate it until you're away from it, to just recognize how fortunate you are to be able to play college football, and that no longer will you have that opportunity. So you will miss it.
That's right. Like this fifth-year senior Grant Nimick, as we said, 225-pounder. He's had 3 straight carries now. And
third and final, charge timeout, Ball State.
Nimick came up with 8 yards on the 3 carries to bring up fourth down.
Second timeout.
Credit Coach Martin for giving him an opportunity as a fifth-year senior to get his hands on the football.
That's right. Yep, first time he's carried the football here. He's got 8 yards on 3 carries, so I'm sure that's something he'll remember, huh?
He should, for sure. Opportunity.
Chuck Martin's going to kick the football away. Comfortable 28-7 lead. And, yeah, you know, it's been vanilla for Miami in the second half. They led 28-0 at the break. They have not put any points on the board. They've pretty much run the football quite a bit. Passing game has been a shorter, controlled passing game. Haven't really took a couple of shots here vertically.
I guess they didn't want to offend their rival too much in this inaugural game.
That's right, the Redbird rivalry, this inaugural trophy that is going to be constructed, and it'll be The winner will take it to their respective trophy cases in their football buildings each and every year.
Display.
Yeah. Yeah, these campuses, as we told you in the opener, less than 80 miles away. Here you get go a little bit south and southeast from this Muncie, Indiana Ball State campus, and you'll less than 80 miles away to the southeast, right across the Indiana-Ohio line. You run right into Oxford, Ohio.
And nothing like that ride back home when you're the victor.
When you're the winner?
Yes.
That's right, yeah. Yes, indeed. All right, Drew Plitt back at the helm. Plitt trying to escape pressure. A nice job stepping up tonight.
He does. That's what they call nice wiggle.
Yeah.
Looks comfortable in the pocket. Pass rush comes upon him. He doesn't panic. Just seems to keep his composure.
Yeah, good size. 6'3", about 220 pounds.
And this is his chance to put something on tape, on film, to show the coaches what they're working with for next season.
Yeah, he's an Ohioan. Grew up not far away from the Oxford campus. Is Malik Dunner. Will crease that Miami D and move those chains, and Dunner's got a first down. So Dunner put the touchdown on the board on that 28-yard TD burst. But all the real heavy lifting tonight was done by his running mate Caleb Huntley, who passed a 1,000-yard mark on the ground in his freshman year. Again, Plitt will step up. Look at Plitt spin out of a hit. Heath Harding thought he had him lined up.
That's the second time tonight. One of the things that Plitt will learn is that when you have a receiver open, and in that case he did have one, you would rather throw that football as opposed to becoming labeled a running quarterback. Nothing wrong with using those skills. When you have a chance to throw the football, by all means throw it.
Yeah, I'm going to check that. That was Mike Brown that thought he had Drew Plitt lined up. Brown backup corner. And again, Plitt is going to pull the football down. Makes that throw late. And it's incomplete. Trying to keep his feet in bounds was Khalil Newton. Wasn't able to do it.
Another one of those fabulous Georgia freshmen.
10 of them?
You see right here, Plitt going out, and yes, clearly out of bounds, but nice effort on the part.
Yeah,
freshman receiver.
Right, we asked Mike New about Gerard. You said, how you able to keep Georgia and Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern, Georgia State, all the D1
all
schools.
the Georgia schools, right?
Yeah, D1 FBS schools away.
I think I noticed now with the young men from Georgia, none of them are wearing arm sleeves. They've embraced the cold.
That's right. There's another one of those young men from Georgia. This is the best one, as Justin Hall made the grab. He came into tonight with 73 catches in 11 games that led the Mid-American Conference among the receivers for number of catches coming into tonight. And Hall had a couple of catches in the first quarter, but kind of been quiet since then. 4 catches.
Give credit to Allen for breaking up with several of his passes.
Ball State hoping to put more numbers on the board. Plitt will fire in the middle. And Khalil Newton, did he hang? Nope, got broken up. That was an excellent defensive play. There's Heath Harding. Keep an eye on that young man, folks. You're probably going to hear his name called on draft night next April, the NFL draft.
And what you like about what Heath does on this is that he doesn't interfere with the receiver, just wastes the last minute, gets the timing down, puts that hand in there to get the PBU, also known as a pass breakup.
Harding has garnered the attention of many of the NFL personnel folks. That Plitt throw is high and sailing through the outreached hands of Khalil Newton. Travion Banks on the coverage. 3rd down and 10. 2:28 left in it. Ball State, as we said, trying to mount a touchdown drive here. This is 12th and final regular season game for both these squads. This college football season has rolled by, hasn't it, partner? 12th game for everybody this week. Plitt's going to flush the pocket again. And could not shake that tackle near the midfield stripe, as coming up to make the hit for The Miami Redhawks, as they've got a lot of threes on the football field now, as this brings up 4th and 4 for Plitt. Plitt's going to throw that fade. Hey, how about Justin Hall on that back shoulder fade? Made that grab as he went to work on Travion Banks. Excellent catch by Hall.
Yes, that's the one-hander right here. And the fade stop is the hard play for the defender to cover because your momentum is working against you, but also give credit to Hall for having the ability to adjust and come down with the football with the one-hand grab.
Very sweet catch. And now whistles, flags, got it stopped on the snap. Let's see what referee Tom Stapleton says. Probably motion on Ball State.
Ball start. Offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The guilty party there for the Ball State Cardinals, Curtis Blackwell, the right tackle. A true freshman is Curtis Blackwell. Getting a lot of playing time on Mike New's offensive line. They're young up there. Plitt will check down and work with Malik Dunner underneath. Dunner made the grab before he stepped out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Good heads up play on the part of Dunner of recognizing I can't afford to waste time. Let me get out of bounds. So we still give ourselves an opportunity to make this game look more respectable in the scoring column.
Second half TD under the direction of backup QB Drew Plitt for Malik Dunner. And looking for more. Plitt going to step up and run the football. Twist his way inside the 25, and before he was taken to the ground, making the stop for the Miami Redhawks. In on that hit, coming up out of the secondary as they're playing a lot of twos. Kobe Burse on that stop. Malik Dunner, big crease. That's a first down to the 14-yard line that'll stop the clock to move the sticks.
Malik's running like he wants to have another scoring opportunity.
Sure. A lot of tempo now, going quickly. As Miami, as we said, has got a lot of backups and even number 3s on the depth chart. Plitt's in trouble. Escaping that pocket inside the 10. Got a flag down near the goal line. It's probably going to be a defensive holding on one of the Miami DBs.
And that's not a surprising call when you have 3s versus 1s in that situation. But again, you see the elusive ability of Plitt to make things happen with his legs.
Yep. He's been, keeping plays alive.
Defense, number 24. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Well, in that case, you have a 1 versus a 1 holding. That's Heath Harding.
That's a 1 there on that hold, right. That man
might be his last play. Don't want it to be
that's right.
a penalty, but that may be it.
NFL career next.
Half the distance from the end of the run, first down.
It was an 11-yard run from Drew Plitt. So you take a look at Heath Harding, now off the football field. Highly decorated cornerback all around college football. One of the best in the game. 59 seconds left. Ball State looking to punch another one in. Malik Dunner. He got stood up and stopped. Now, Miami stonewalled Malik Dunner as making that hit was James Jeanette. And they've been raving about Jeanette. Now throwing that fade, and it's picked off. Well, Drew Plitt tried to throw that fade, but he didn't get enough air on it, and it was intercepted. As coming up with the INT for Miami was DeAndre Daniels, who made the pick in the end zone.
And what Plitt's going to learn with that fade stop route, it has to be on the outside for starters. And you have to put the ball in a position where your player can only make a play. By having it on the inside, as you see right here, that's asking for an interception because it's already a poorly thrown ball because you're purposely trying to get the momentum of the defender to work against them. You have to have that on the outside because if you don't, those are typically the results that'll take place.
DeAndre Daniels has had a real nice year. He's had 8 pass breakups on the year. That's his first INT. So there's Daniels.
He earned it.
Yep, junior out of South Carolina. Victory formation time for the Miami Redhawks, as Gus Ragland will take a knee, and that is going to be the last snap of the regular season. Gerard Cherry, disappointing year for both, but for Miami, they'll wind it up at 5-7 on the year, just one game away from would-be bowl eligibility.
Exactly, and if you're the Red Hawks, you came in here and you took care of business. You did what you needed to do to get the job done, to build momentum for the following season. And for Ball State, your mentality has to be that you have a young football team and you're going to do much better in the future because you got a lot of inexperienced players with the opportunity to do what? Play this season, and hopefully they'll build upon the momentum, though they lost again today.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Gus Ragland of Miami, a win over Ball State. The Cardinals, they go winless in this MAC season this year and wind it up at 2-10 overall. 0-8 in the MAC. That's going to do it for us. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. We began in the snowstorms and wind it up with a 28-7. Miami win over Ball State. For all the crew and my partner Gerard Cherry, I'm Michael Wegg. I hope you enjoyed it, everybody. All games air on the ESPN Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. Happy Thanksgiving, all.